Hello everyone, and welcome to the 50th session of the Devouring Dark. We're doing something a little bit different this time, so we're going to go off on a different track. Go on. So, in the last session, you guys were in the middle of the stairway. That's where we left off. So we cut to a guy watching a reenactment of that scene on TV. People in a hallway fighting these eagle people, and then it's also cutting to a different scene where Edo-san is in a castle looking around with actors that are overly beautiful looking compared to what your characters look like, overly exaggerated. And there's just a TV sitting on what looks like a kitchen counter, overly white bleach colored counter, futuristic looking windows and cupboards and everything, just overly gaudy and futuristic looking. And you see what looks like 3 kids sort of just eating breakfast, watching this reenactment on HTV, History Television. They're sort of just sitting there playing. One of them just grabs a glob of cereal in his bowl and just throws it at one of the other ones, and he goes, "Ah, come on," sort of thing. And the little kid is sitting in the high chair and he's sort of laughing to himself as he threw that at him. And there's 2 parents. They're sort of hovering around, sort of just gathering stuff, picking up mess, that sort of thing. When suddenly the TV cuts to a different station. They look over towards the TV, and it says, "We interrupt your usual broadcast to bring you breaking news. Do not leave your homes. Our great leader, the Vision, has been attacked in his bunker. More news and developments are to come. Again, please do not leave your homes." And then the TV cuts back, and you guys are on the screen. They're still watching, fighting with the eagle people, and then cutting to Edo-san in a castle being carried by this weird-looking clown creature. And the parents look at each other and say, and the father says, "I wonder what that was about." The mother goes, "You may never know." Cut to the past, and it says on the screen, 48 hours early. So you guys, actually, before that, we'll get into our backstory stuff. So, to get a little bit into it, so yeah, 48 hours earlier makes sense. So, you guys are in a very run-down concrete building. There's, like, the ceiling isn't complete, like, parts of it have fallen in, and there's, like, rebar sticking down from the ceiling, curved in. Looks like some sort of, attack happened here recently, perhaps. This is the rebel hideout, and your characters are just sort of sitting around on couches and other overly comfortable furniture.
Is it the dim lit or is it like bright sunlight?
It's daytime, and the hole in the ceiling is bringing in bright light, but where you guys are sitting is sort of dark at the moment.
I'm invisible then.
All right. So you guys are just sort of sitting in this room, and there's a half-orc man who is sort of at what looks like a machine of some sort, a really weird-looking desktop computer, and he's sort of typing away, and he's using the mouse, clicking on different parts of the screen. And you guys are just sort of sitting there waiting for him to address you. So first, we're going to get into descriptions. You guys are sitting in this room. What do your characters look like? Whoever wants to go first can go first. Otherwise, I'm going to tell whoever goes first. So go ahead.
So Marutoval's just sitting there, big Colombian cigar in his mouth, just waiting. He looks more like he could walk straight to any building and come out unscathed.
Alright, what race is he?
He's a human.
Alright, so
Very,
I'm picturing...
very strong human.
Alright, so am I correct in assuming more Arnold Schwarzenegger or more Sylvester Stallone or...
Well, he's carrying quite the gun with him, so I guess more Sylvester Stallone.
Alright, so he's got the swagger and everything, and he's got this huge cigar in his mouth. Quite stereotypically. Yeah, quite stereotypically.
And he just sits there waiting, going like, what's taking so long?
The half-orc that is currently sitting at the computer sees some smoke waft over in front of his screen and just sort of waves it in front of his face, and he goes, "You know, those things are gonna kill you one day."
I know. If it isn't this thing, it will... Well, these are the only things that will kill me.
He just looks over at you, just glaring. And then he goes back to the computer. Alright, who's next?
I can go next then.
Yeah.
Technically, you're currently invisible, but
yeah.
if they could see you, what would they see?
Okay, so if they could see me, they would see a darker tabaxi. It's kind of striped, almost like a zebra between brown and black. His eyes are almost like he has goggles on him with black.
Interesting.
And yeah, and then he looks like a cat, pretty much. He doesn't wear any armor other than he has. If you've seen him fight, his claws are glowing brightly blue. That's one of the noticeable features. If you see him at all, because you usually don't see him.
So, just so that way you guys are aware, you guys are out of your armor, unless if you really want to be in your armor, because you're sort of just lounging for the moment. You're not really geared up, but you can have your weapons next to you, that sort of thing. You are in a rebel hideout, I mean. And the government is not too happy with the rebels, so either way. But I'll say that you're sort of just lounging, so unless if you say otherwise, you're out of armor, don't have your weapons, that sort of thing.
I would have tried to hide
isn't
my
going
weapons.
without his armor, because who knows what might happen.
Yeah, I would have hid my weapon and said I didn't have any.
All right.
I mean, how the hell do you hide your weapons when they are your heads?
So, just to give you a little bit more context here, if you're in armor, what level armor are you wearing, Kyle or Giovanni?
Well, I'm wearing full plate armor +3.
Okay, so he basically has this fiberglass plate, sort of, is what it looks like. So it's sort of blackish in color, unless if he wanted a custom color, which he could.
Black, just intimidating black.
Alright, so the natural color is black. So it's sort of like black fiberglass that you might see on a car. And it just sort of looks like that, and just plates all over his body.
Hey Matt, what kind of magic items did you say we could get? Rare?
Yeah.
Rare.
Yeah, one rare.
I forgot to pick one.
Okay, fair enough. So you can do that while we're describing, although it is your turn next to describe. So.
Cool.
Yeah, and well, before you head on to her, she has a little bit more time. There is a cloak around the armor. Well, I'm wearing a cloak around on me. That's the cloak of displacement.
Yeah, and it sort of looks like more like a cape than a cloak, but it has the hood for the cloak. It's sort of like a superhero style cloak. So it sort of flows back like a cape. But either way, it still has the same effects.
Yeah.
So either way, you're up next.
Cool. My character is a half orc. Do we know each other?
You guys would have known of each other, but this is the first time you're actually working on a mission together because you're the highest ranking resistance members of different locations, and you're being brought together to actually take down the leader of this tyrannical regime, which has currently taken over the world. So, you've been brought in from different locations to take this guy out. So
Alright.
you've heard of each other because your guys' accomplishments in the Resistance are pretty well known, but this is the first time you've actually met each other.
Okay. So my character is 6'5". He's 200 pounds, pretty lean. Green eyes, pale green skin. His hair is kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, like the Vikings would shave their heads but grow this very long.
Yeah.
And it's brown. I feel like I'm yelling.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you're not that loud.
His name is Plum.
Alright. Fair enough. So you guys are just sort of sitting around, lounging on. They're relatively comfortable for such a rundown building, chairs and couches and such. And the half orc that was at the computer finally finishes typing the or doing whatever it was that he was doing, and he says, "Alright guys, come on over." Sort of indicating that you guys should come over to his computer screen.
I teleport behind him.
Alright? You hear a
I'm still invisible.
yeah, you hear a and he goes, "Never gonna get used to that."
Oh, that's what you get with that kind of kitty cat.
So he's waiting for you guys to come over.
Well, just come over and just watch what he is showing us.
Alright. Plum, you headed over? Alright. He goes over, sort of sits up in the chair, adjusts his very geeky, thick lensed glasses, and he sort of just cracks his neck, his short, light brown hair just sort of sticking up in a very 90s-ish way, like spiked up. And he just sort of turns the screen so that way the people who are visible to him can see it better. So the person who's invisible would have to sort of crane over him, maybe. Although he can move wherever he wishes, he's invisible. Either way, he tilts the screen, which is a very sort of like a flat screen that can adjust the position of the screen itself with a little thing holding it down, little pedestal type stand on it.
And a
And
stand
he sort of
that can tilt.
yeah. So he tilts it over towards you guys, and what's on the screen is a topographical map, currently in heat vision mode, of the area that you guys are going to be approaching. Basically, there's an area in a very cold location. You can tell from the heat graphs on the map that it's a very cold location, and right in the middle of it there is what looks like a very large round circle with a very, very thin slice taken out of it, kind of like a pie chart with a very, very thin slice. And that is all heated up red, like super hot. And he says, "Well, this is where we're going to be infiltrating. Any questions?"
Yeah, how deep is it down?
Well, the entrance is at the surface. The rest of it is underground. About, let me see. And he starts clicking at something on the side, and another window appears, and it's basically like another topographical map, except for this one is sort of side sectioned of the ground, and it's sort of showing like an estimate of how deep down it is, that sort of thing, like a sonar map. And he looks and he says, well, the main complex is about 400 feet down.
Mm-hmm. So that
So
will be quite... I bet there will be lifts, but once they know what's going on, they will mostly certainly cut power.
well, as you can see, and he sort of points to the side sectioned off map. You see that there is what looks like a hallway, a very, very long hallway, about a quarter-mile long, that goes at about a 45-degree angle, or perhaps a little less, maybe a 30-degree angle, and it goes all the way down into the complex, and he says, you're going to have to get through this hallway in order to get into the main complex.
Well, nothing's gonna stop me at least.
We sent a few
Animal.
scouts in there, and nobody came back.
Is there
Oh, they-
no other way in to the main complex?
He hears a voice emanate from something that he can't see, and he just sort of goes like that, jumps to the side a little bit, and he goes, still not used to it.
Well, you
Either way.
better get used to it, because that cat is not gonna show itself unless it wants.
Alright, what was the question again?
You sure
Is there
there's
another
not
way
any
than
other
just the straight way?
Well,
And
show you
where's
this. And he clicks on the screen a little bit more, and he brings up another window, which is a blueprint, which is actually blue with white lines to indicate. Apparently, when they built the building, the builders weren't given instructions to give any other entrance or exit.
so is there where's the power coming from?
Well, based on this blueprint, and he sort of uses his mouse cursor, which is a flaming sword. He has it customized to look like a flaming sword. And he sort of just mouses around what looks like a power line that goes. It goes from the complex itself, and there's actually a separate piece of paper with the blueprints that shows, and it says on it that it is 5 miles away from the main complex, and it says that the power line goes to this location and then goes straight up to a power box, which
We
is
should destroy
guarded,
that first.
which is guarded in a skyscraper complex.
We should destroy that first.
You're a bitter man.
We should destroy that first, yeah, but then we do need a few things. And the
He
question
says-
is...
He says, you guys planning on blowing this up?
Maybe.
Well, the generator, not the building.
Well, the building is full of civilians.
That's why only the generator.
Well, good luck infiltrating it.
But like where? Because you said it came up before it went up to the skyscraper. Where does it come up? Because maybe we could break it before the skyscraper.
Okay, so basically it's a, like, this thick, about a foot round cable, and it goes up into the entrance of the building, where according to this map, the people who were building the building were also supposed to build autonomous guards for this location, and there's guardians all along this cable.
Okay, but we could go to the cable somewhere along the line. They probably can't cover the entire way.
Well, it's up to you. It's either get into the building itself and fight the guardians, or dig underground about 400 feet.
Oh, 400 feet.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, well, they don't want power cut off to this location. It is where the dictator sits. He hides in that bunker, and he pulls up basically the equivalent of a YouTube video on the screen, and basically the world now has state-run YouTube basically. He pulls up a YouTube video, and it's basically the leader, and he has it currently paused in the middle of the leader giving an address. He says, "This bunker is where they give these addresses. I'm sure you've seen them."
You mean the half-vomited shit that comes out of his mouth?
Well, he has some decent speechwriters. At least that's what we heard.
Well, let's just hope that we can shut him up before he starts talking.
He presses play on the video for a moment, and you actually get a look at this guy. He's a person with blue skin, overly large eyes. You're not sure what race he is. People have been trying to identify him. They have assumed that it's a really realistic looking mask, or perhaps prosthetics or magical enchantment to make him look this way. He has blue skin, really large eyes. His nose is he has basically no nose. It's just slits in his face, and his mouth is slightly too wide, and when he speaks you can see that he has maybe 20 teeth in total, but they're all larger than regular teeth and extremely sharp. And he starts saying, "The world is now at peace thanks to our regime. The vision shall last for many millennia." And then he pauses the video.
The vision was just stop a bomb in his face and he will shut up.
What about everyone here? Would you be able to destroy the power box while we go inside the building? Might create an easier opportunity for us while we're in there.
Well, it looks like one of your members is currently not paying attention, which is my way of saying that she's not there.
So I'm basically asking this guy if he could send people to break the power box while we go inside the bunker, so it might break while we're in there.
Well, then
as I said in the debriefing, part of the reason why we even found this complex is because we have a few civilian infiltratees that aren't willing to risk their lives, by the way. And he sort of just clicks on the screen, and he brings up a few people. One is a dwarf and two are humans. They just look like regular people. And he goes, "They've infiltrated the skyscraper, which is how we found out about the box. They had the plans in this skyscraper, everything. All this info that we're currently looking at is from these guys. But again, they aren't willing to put their lives on the line."
It seems like that's contradicting what you're saying. It seems like they already put their lives on the line by sharing this information.
They planted the bug. That's all that they were willing to do. But you're right. If they got caught planting the bug, then they would have been. But they weren't willing to do any more. Like, they're not willing to fight, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get that.
So
but yeah, if the power box go down, then we do need a few things.
Such as?
Well, the lights go out, so we need to see in the dark. And we need, like, some kind of explosive to get to the doors.
Well, those would have been good things to think of before you came here. But I can try to get a supply drop in around the entrance. but that might give away part of your position.
That's true, so we better not have the power cut then.
Though, I can give you a few basic supplies, but that means that I have nothing.
And I say no to that because we already are overspending on this mission.
I mean, we'll have more use of the items than you.
Yeah, but what if it all goes wrong?
He says, "Here." And he reaches onto the table and he passes over. He waits for the invisible person to take it from him because that's
To
the
take
person
what?
who said. He has a flashlight.
Okay. Yeah, I put it back on him. I don't want a flashlight. I prefer the darkness. So I tried to stealthily put it in his pocket.
Alright, so you take the flashlight from him and then try to put it in his pocket. Sleight of hand.
24.
Well, I do want to say if he did want to give the flashlight, did want to go for it, like, it could come in handy.
Alright, well, he got it slipped into his pocket and he didn't notice. And you didn't see it unless if you can roll higher than a 24.
On what?
Perception.
Then I need to roll net.
You can try.
Well, let's test their luck. Nope.
Natural one.
kind
So
of
you
that.
weren't paying attention once he gave the flashlight to him. You assume that he still has the flashlight. So either way, he says, "Anything else before you guys head off?" And he sort of looks down. He has a watch on his arm. And he presses a button on it, and a 3D display, like it comes a little bit off the screen, appears on his watch. And you can see what time it is. It's about mid-afternoon. He says, "The dropship is going to be here soon. So, if you want to ask questions, ask them quick."
So
What
yeah,
items you give us?
You want some items?
You say you have.
Well, he reaches over to a toolbox, and he hands it over to you. "Other than my flashlight, this is what I got."
I'm also looking around to see if I see anything valuable or anything that could help us, potions or anything.
Alright, make an investigation check of the room. But in his toolbox, if you look in the toolbox, he has a very, very small piece of plastic explosive, which you don't know what he was going to use it for, but he has a very small piece of plastic explosive, and he has some computer components, and he points to some of them and he says, "These are useful for hacking if there's any computer systems." And he starts pointing to the other items in there. Some of them just look like chipboards for computers and things like that. Otherwise, they're just screwdrivers, regular tools that you might use for fixing a computer, that sort of thing.
so sorry about that.
Investigation check, though.
Myself?
You look under some of the rubble, and you see what looks like it's broken down, but it looks like an autonomous firearm.
I put the rubble back onto it.
Alright.
Okay, let's see if I do notice this thing then.
He can tell you.
No, I don't.
He can tell you if he wants.
It didn't seem of importance to me, so I'm still invisible.
Alright. He doesn't mention it.
So yeah, you mentioned something about hacking. What if we were to like give you access to the system of the whole bunker?
Well, as you can see on this blueprint, he brings up the blueprint again, and it actually says on the blueprint that each like even the hallway that you're going to go down, there's 5 different sections that are each on its own power grid and
Oh,
each on its own network. And within the bunker itself, there are 10 different networks.
do you know if it's well lighted in bunker, or if it's dimly lit?
Well, our scouts didn't come back. But according to these blueprints, there are not only floodlights installed here, here, and here. So he's basically indicating different parts of the hallway that have a ton of floodlights installed. He says there are also emergency lights dotting the entire thing, and you can see that there are emergency lights on the blueprint that are about 20 feet from each other.
So I'm assuming it's only the floodlights that will be brightly lit then.
Yes.
Could you destroy those with your weapon, or ask? Let's see. More tough. If you can shoot them down.
Easy enough. I mean, they don't move.
They are armor plated, but if you can get past that, then yeah, you can easily break them.
But yeah, so if the system has 10 networks, there must be one master point that's controlling all of it.
There is. Unfortunately, according to this blueprint, it's in the middle of the bunker.
Well, if that is so, then if you're can get into one, well, work your way to it, I would say.
Yes, that is possible. And our scouting team was supposed to try that. Just get into the hallway and leave. Fortunately, something got to them.
The drop on them.
Unfortunately.
Well, I guess we should get ready, prepared, and, well, load up on what we can load up.
Do you have anything to jam the door with once we're inside? So we have a way out.
Maybe that autonomous weapon you found could be a jamming thing.
Well, you don't say that because I haven't told you.
Well, I'm saying it out of character.
He goes, well, depends on what you're looking for, though the drop ship will have a few supplies on it for you.
Anything that could block a door?
Well, depends on what you're looking for again. Are you looking for like an electrical block that would just short circuit the door so that way it can't close? Or are you looking for like something to jam the door physically?
I'll figure it out once I get there. And I leave.
He says, well, they said that that's what you were known for, but either way, he sits up in his chair.
Yeah, don't mind the cat.
You two have anything that you wanted?
Well, I don't have anything for close combat, but I guess I will find something in the plane or the dropship.
Alright.
You have special bullet. Not you, bullet. Boom, boom, bullet.
Well, the dropship might have some. It's basically, I already said this in the delivery thing, but either way, I can repeat myself. The dropship is standard dropship for what we call division forces. We stole one not too long ago, and that's what we're going to be using to drop you in on site. So that way you don't go noticed, hopefully.
Well,
They'll assume that it's just an operation done by the Vision's forces.
well, I bet there will be a fire axe in there.
Well, standard array. In case the ship crashes and people need to escape, I assume that they have something.
Yeah, I bet they will. Not they're gonna need it anymore once I'm done with them.
You hear in the background getting closer. He says, "Ah, the dropship's coming."
Well, I guess we should go then.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Kitty
it might
Cat,
be
you coming?
suspicious. Yeah,
I'm already out.
He says, "Yeah, you might want to get on there quick. Might be suspicious to see a dropship near a rebel location and not hearing about it cleared out."
Yeah. Well, we will be waiting outside. Get in, and then we're off again.
All right, good luck. We're all counting on you. He
So,
turns
yeah.
back to the computer.
So before I leave, I take one of the sticks to hack the system with.
All right. He says, "All right. Hopefully, I won't need that." He starts typing on the computer.
Well, hopefully you won't have to do anything.
Well, good luck.
But if you do, well, you have a way in then. And, well, if you have a way in, you can spy on them.
Well, I'm better at keeping people from finding me, but if they do, I'm in trouble.
That's true,
Just
so
keeps typing.
stay out of trouble. Better get going, so then I start rushing out the room and towards the plane.
All right. Actually, I forgot to do this, but I'll grab it for you. That's what I'm looking for. Here it is. Okay. So I'm gonna throw this up on the screen. An image, a new tab. There we go.
I'll be right back.
It's super tiny. Oh well. I should be able to zoom in, shouldn't I? Yep. Very grainy looking, but it'll do. This is what the dropship looks like. You guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what the dropship looks like. So it sort of has these hover machines for them that are they have enchanted stuff inside of them to allow it to float, and it just sort of pulls in nearby the building and just sort of floats there above the building. And this side here, if you can see my mouse, it opens up and there's like a ramp that leads to the ground, and the top part just sort of opens up. And it sits there waiting for you to enter.
I'm entering. Yeah.
And I assume he's going to enter as well. You guys get in there, and you see that this drop ship is very minimalist inside. There are 2 benches, one on either side that could fit 3 or 4 people max on them. And you look through, there's a glass window on one side that appears to be looking into the cockpit. And there's currently a guy sort of just sitting there manning the controls. And there is a glass on the other side, but it is tinted black, so you can't see back there. You're not sure what's in there, and there's a door on the side that leads into the back area.
Like the cargo hold or something?
Perhaps. You're not sure. You haven't really seen inside one of these things. You've just shot them down and exploded them, that sort of thing. And in the wreckage, there isn't much left. So, you guys board, and there's benches, but there are also you look up at the ceiling and there's like grab bars that would be on like buses these days. Sort of like grab bars that you can hold on to. They're made of metal and they're attached to the ceiling.
I just find some place to just stand.
All right, and you can hold on to a grab bar if you wish, but otherwise, if the dropship has to make a sudden stop, then you might get flung around. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hang on. I'm gonna rather test my balance.
All right. What about Plum?
Yeah, he's gonna hold on to one of the bars.
All right, and I'm gonna assume that Sylvester Stallone guy is going to sit down. And he just sort of sits on one of the benches, and the dropship door closes, and you begin to take off. You feel the sudden momentum, but then once the momentum happens, like once it starts moving, you feel like you're not moving at all with inside. So it feels like you're on a stationary land vehicle.
Yeah.
And you start heading towards your location.
Yeah, so on the way, I'll ask the other two. So before we get there, we should know what each other's specialties are. So, do you have any specialties, Plum?
Me shoot pretty good.
Yeah, now you have your weapons, because you would have grabbed your weapons on the way out. You see Plum's weapon, and it's pretty much like the other guy that you are with, except this one has a gnarly attachment on the front. I'm not sure what it does specifically, but it looks kind of like bayonets that you've seen before.
Me strong, close combat good too.
So yeah, I kind of scratch my head, but you don't see it because I'm invisible. to see to think about what I'll do with that information.
Yep. So
And I'll tell you back. I'm good at hiding. You don't see me.
I don't see you. Or me don't see you.
And Bullet is also very fast.
Bullet is his name.
Did I even ask you your name? Because I don't think I did.
Well, your character wouldn't know who this is, but yeah.
Why you called Bullet?
Because I'm the fastest. Because Bullet is the fastest bullet.
He's as fast as a bullet, basically.
I have to start always saying Bullet. I forgot to do it earlier.
Ladies like you.
Karza? Or what did you say?
The ladies must love you. Because you fast.
Bullet doesn't know. Ladies don't see Bullet.
Yeah, really?
I'm invisible.
My character just starts mumbling shit in or in Orcish, saying, "This is why I don't make jokes. Why I don't make jokes."
The dude who's currently flying the dropship says, he hits the window, and he says, 12 hours to landing, so you may as well settle in for the long haul.
Bullet will be ready.
And as he's turning around, he has one of those, basically those masks that, those guys that fly fighter jets have, those breather masks. He basically has one of those on. So, for your information, Wall, as I'll call you, since that's part of your name, you're on the dropship, and you're currently sitting, and you see that one of your companions is standing. You cannot see the other. I made that choice for you. It's very minimalistic inside this dropship. Did you see the dropship?
I think not.
Alright, I'll screen share the dropship again.
Okay, so then
It's very blurry, but this is what it looks like.
Okay.
So this front part here is actually where the cockpit is, and there's a back part that you haven't seen in. The cockpit has a pilot, assumedly, and you don't know what's in the back part. It has a window, but it's tinted black. The cockpit has a clear window that you can see through, and I was just getting into describing what the pilot looked like. But either way, there's 2 benches on either side that can fit 4 people each, and there's bars on the ceiling that you can hold on to if you want to stand up. And the pilot just said that you're going to have to settle in because it's going to be about 12 hours before you reach your location.
Well, I start searching ship for something that I can, well, hit people with. And before you say anything, I have to switch machines.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be right back.
Do so as quickly as possible.
I will.
Alright.
Yeah, I would have asked him what his specialty was too, since we were first there, so I'll just assume he's answering.
He seems to be looking around to see if there's anything useful on the dropship. He's not paying attention to you.
Yeah.
At least at the moment. The pilot sort of glances back. Wow. Pilot sort of glances back. And he says, "So, you guys are the legendary captains, huh?"
Yes.
I don't answer.
Oh, okay, fine. He goes, "Oh, well, you don't look as mean or tall as they say."
My character.
And you notice, yeah, before you spoke, he actually glances over, and Bullet, you actually notice that he seems to be looking directly at you.
Oh.
Bullet notices you see Bullet.
He goes, "Well, yes, sort of a function of his helmet."
I'm gonna step all the way to the back area, and I'm gonna cast darkness.
All right, if you do cast darkness, he was going to turn his head back around, but then when he sees that you do that, he sort of looks at you through the darkness.
I kind of just scratch my head. Not sure what to do.
Basically, your monk abilities bend light, not heat. So he's just sort of looking at you. And he goes, "Impressive. Unfortunately, not to this." And then he turns around. But yeah, he has the stereotypical flight mask on, so you can't really see what he is or anything. And his hands, you can see his arms and everything. And you're not sure about the height he is because the glass is a little bit warped. You're not sure why. But he's completely covered in clothing. So he's got like gloves on and everything. He's got the full fighter suit. Can't really see anything about him. Anything else you guys want to do in that 12 hours?
Relax.
Yeah, because you're going to be in there for 12 hours. You could, in theory, take a long rest if you wanted to. Which feels kind of redundant to your characters.
What?
Because
Okay.
you were sort of just lazing around waiting for that guy for a couple hours at the computer. But before that, you guys were traveling to get there.
Okay. So as we're done talking, unless you say something, Lily. Or not Lily, sorry, Plum.
Nah, he's ready to knock out.
Okay, so I cast silence over all of us, so we don't hear anything while we go to sleep.
Alright. That happens.
So there's absolutely no sound from the plane or anything.
Yeah, it was only making a light type noise. Like, you know how those futuristic jets in movies sound. It's basically that. So then that quiets, and the pilot turns around, and he turns his head, and then he just turns his head back, and he shrugs. Apparently he was trying to talk to you, but you guys didn't hear him. So he just sort of shrugs.
Yeah.
So then he just continues flying the plane, or the dropship, technically. And you guys are going to reach your destination. But he said that he wanted to find something, so...
Yeah, Bullet is also sleeping while standing.
Yeah, he has no choice.
Well, I mean, he could lay down if he wanted to. But...
No choice.
I'm going to have to roll his... In order to keep this moving, I'm going to have to roll his investigation check. Alright. You see him before you turned the sound off. He went into that door. He placed his hand on the side of the door. There was a square on the side of the door, so you assume that it might be some sort of button or something. You're not sure, because you didn't really look at it. And he presses his hand into it. The door slides open to the side, and he steps inside. The door shuts behind him, and about 3 or 4 minutes later, he comes back out, and he's holding what looks like an axe of some sort. And you see his lips moving, however you've already cast silence, so you cannot hear him.
Yeah, I'm trying to rest.
So he tries to speak, and then he realizes that he can't hear himself. So then he just sort of just gets frustrated and sits down.
Okay, I'm back. I
Oh,
guess
you're
you
back.
noticed.
So I rolled an investigation check for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you went into that back room. Unfortunately, there isn't much back there. There was an axe on the wall, and there was a crate, which you didn't really look in.
No.
But you came back out after you got the axe, because you said you wanted the axe. And
Yeah,
you
but if there was an interesting crate, then, well...
Yes, but you went out to tell them. Unfortunately, he cast silence because they're trying to go to sleep. So you can't speak to them.
So I just found it obvious the one that's wanting the silence.
Where do you frown? Because you don't see me and you don't hear me.
Oh yeah. So I just found knowing who wants the silence. And then I tried to find Plump and motion him, her over.
Again, you can't make sound, but you can go over there. Plum is
Yeah,
just sort of nestling in to get some rest. And Plum, you feel a tap on the shoulder, I'll say. So you hear a loud, orcish.
So can I speak again?
No, you cannot.
Yeah. I just.
Plum, do you wake up?
No.
All right. Seems like you're poking. Actually, you wouldn't have heard the sound, so technically you didn't hear that. Either way, you can tell that it seems like you're poking a bear.
So
bear.
So I just sigh silently and then go back to the back room to see what's in the crate.
All right, you go into the back room. Again, you place your hand on the handprint scanner, which is what you discovered. You sort of open the door, so you put your hand on the handprint scanner, and it makes a little, and then it opens the door. Apparently, it isn't locked or anything. And you go up to the crate, and I need you to roll a d20, no modifiers,
Okay.
to determine what's
Well,
in it.
so since I have a stat that has no modifiers, can I just roll that as a d20 as that is a quick macro?
Sure, you can do that if you want.
So that's an 18.
So inside, you sort of lift and crack the lid a little bit. You're strong enough to just sort of crack it open a little bit without needing a tool. And you sort of just push it open. And inside are 15 military rations, which are enough food for a day. What looks like a spare machine gun, which you haven't looked at. And underneath that, most of it is taken up by the crate is taken up by the rations, but there's a spare machine gun just sort of sitting on top, and some weird spheroid object that you're not sure what it is.
So
You
I
have to
just
examine it.
just look at the needle and go like, well, this could get interesting.
All right, so there's
Examine it, I guess.
There's the 15 military rations. Do you want to just leave those alone for now?
Yeah.
All right. There's the machine gun. You want to look at that later, or you just want to look at the sphere for now?
Yeah, I'm first checking the syringe to see what's that thing about.
Sphere.
Sphere.
Yes. Not a syringe. That's slightly different.
Slightly, just slightly.
Yes. So the spheroid object, you go to pick it up. You can try to identify it with, let's see, with Arcana.
I'm rolling well all of a sudden.
All right.
Another 18.
This is an autonomous camera. It's a spheroid object, and on the bottom, you notice that there are rings around it. This is an anti-gravity field, which it can use to float. And on the front of it, it's got the lens cap on, so you notice that there's a little place where you can take that off, and it makes the front of the sphere flat, and there's a lens on the front of it. So basically, if you know how to use future technology, which is the same as like Tinkerer's stuff, you know how to do that, then it'd be easier to use. You can use it automatically. However, if you don't, you can just roll.
So what do I need to have to know how that works? I guess I would know because I have been an investigator in my past.
Actually, I'll give you advantage because you're an investigator. So you, actually, you are still currently part of the police force. So you actually had to get granted vacation time in order to go on this mission in the first place. The police force doesn't know that you're part of the resistance, which is why they're having such a hard time fighting against you in your district. Because you're basically fudging evidence and doing things like that in order to keep the resistance members safe in that area. But they don't realize.
Yeah, I guess also masked to like hide identity.
Yeah, so when you're out and about, you're not making it obvious who you are. Since you're an investigator, I'll say that you have advantage on this. The roll, you don't have Tinkerer's tools, so I can't base it on that. I'll say something based on intelligence, which would, I'll say roll Arcana. Okay. 12. You know where the on button is, but you don't know how to program it to do what you want. So, like, it basically, you know how they work, but you don't know how to operate one. You know that they go on flight paths. So you have to program in the flight path. And you know that you can, basically, there's supposed to be a receiver. Let's see. Yeah, with your first one, you would have noticed where the receiver is. It's sort of packed in with all the rations, and you pull it out from between them. And it has a little screen on it. It basically looks like a tablet with like a joystick on one side and height and lowering buttons on the other side. Like height buttons and tilt buttons and all that on the other side.
Yeah, with that I can basically control it as to be.
So you could manually control it. However, you don't know how to program it. So if you wanted it to autonomously do that, and the thing that you know is if anybody finds the camera and you're controlling it manually, they can find the receiver. But if it's controlled autonomously, they cannot find the receiver.
Well, I'm not worried about being found, so yeah, I guess I know how to control it as well.
It's basically,
who wouldn't have played the game?
Yeah, it's basically like a remote-controlled helicopter. It controls basically the same way. So your character would easily know how to get the gist of it.
So I'm holding the pad in one hand, the camera in another. So I pull the cap off, turn it on, and watch it lift off from my hand, and then just try a few test flights, so to say.
Right. It sort of automatically floats in the air with its anti-gravity field. It almost looks like, if you guys have played Portal, it looks like one of those eye floating things, one of those eye things that are in the games.
Oh, personality core.
Yeah. It looks kind of like one of those, except it's smaller and it doesn't have a colored eye. But you notice that the lens is focusing. And you look at the screen, and you can actually see that it's looking at you. So you're looking at yourself on the screen.
Nice. Is there something for, say, so that I can attach it to my weapon, so that I have something like a monitor beside the weapon while I control the thing?
You could wield a weapon while using it. However, you would only be able to control one side of the thing, and you would have to use the weapon in your other hand. So you'd only be able to use a one-handed weapon. And you would only be able to control the joystick part, which moves it forwards, backwards, and side to side, or the tilt and height and whatnot.
Yeah, so I guess once I have it in the right height, that the movement will be the most important thing.
Yeah, possibly. So, it's up to you.
So yeah, I guess I would know what to do. So I put the pad away, then turn off the camera, and then pocket that as well.
Alright, so you steer the camera close enough so that way you can grab onto it, and then you put the thing away, and then you grab onto the camera, and it goes, and then you push the button, because it was detecting that something was destabilizing its gravity, so it was making an alert noise.
Yeah.
So now you know that happens.
And then, well, then I checked the machine gun because that's quite interesting. I do have one of my own.
You know just by looking at it that it's not as good as yours, because it's not enchanted or anything. So you would probably be better off using yours. However, make an let's see. Yeah, make an investigation check.
Okay. 15.
All right. You look at the gun itself to see if there's any, see how good quality it is, because you're just curious. And you notice that it has an underpiece, which is used to long-distance fire handheld grenades. Basically a grenade launcher attachment on the bottom, which your gun currently doesn't have.
So where's the pilot cabin? Well, I don't think they will be staying very long.
So you want to go to the pilot, where the pilot is?
Yeah, just checking if the crate has anything. It's an important delivery to somewhere in the rebel group.
Alright. Okay, so you exit the room. Now you're in the silent room, where no noise can be made. And then you go up to the next door, and you put your hand on that one, and it allows you into the cockpit. There is a co-pilot seat that you can sit in if you wish. But otherwise, it's just the pilot seat and the co-pilot seat.
Yeah, well, I guess there's also a headset for the co-pilot.
There is something, not a headset, but there is what I described before, which is like a fighter jet mask that you can put on your head, and it has the entire helmet with it. You assume that might have the headset within it if you put that on.
So I take a seat, put the helmet on, and then address the pilot. We'll go like pilot.
All right. So as that's happening, you put the mask on, and you notice that it has like a breather apparatus. So that way, if the ship crashes, then you have, or something weird happens to the ship, you can breathe using that. So you go into the cabin, and you have that on, and you say pilot, and he goes, "Oh, hello." And you can hear him in this room.
Yeah. So I asked him, so I noticed there was a crate in back.
Oh, noticed that, huh?
Yeah, I did. So question was, is that any important delivery?
No. Actually, those were the supplies we were allowed to give.
Okay. Well, I noticed the camera. Do you guys need it for anything?
Oh, no, we thought that might be useful.
Ah, okay. Well, the machine gun, for who would that be?
Just in case you needed spare parts to fix up one of your weapons.
Spare parts. Nowadays, I don't need it anymore for my big gun.
Like if you needed an extra. And you notice that he's actually referring to the ball part underneath. And he says, those are actually fairly valuable.
Yeah, those are, yeah.
And that gun actually has one. The handguns that shoot faster, those have a smaller version. They're shaped like a tube, but the ones that are on the bigger weapons, they're shaped like a spheroid. And he goes, ugh. Just thought it might help. It's the only supplies we could get on the ship. All the rest of them were deployed with the rest of the troops that we stole this from.
Yeah, that's still brave fight. But yeah, I did notice I was just checking if maybe it was a imported supply, so I would have put the camera back. Then if it was like that, but if it was forest, well, then I can take parts that I need, like the grenade launcher that's on.
Yeah. We thought that
No.
was pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, I only have one tiny problem then. I don't have any grenades.
Yeah. Well, they took them with them when they attacked us, and then we stole it, and,
Yeah, well,
They took the more valuable supplies to attack us.
yeah, well, I guess I could find some in the place. Take them from the guys we shoot down.
Oh, and some of those rations, they aren't rations.
They are.
Well, some of them contain potions and whatnot. It's how they smuggled health potions around to the troops that they needed, and we would think that they aren't anything useful.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. So I saw 15 rations, so how many potions would it be?
Well, each one contains... Actually, want to go back and check? I can set this thing on automated.
You sure you can do that for now?
He nods, and he reaches forward to the control panel, and he just presses 3 different buttons. And then he takes his helmet off, and what you see underneath his helmet is actually a blue-skinned person, and he puts it on the control panel, not on any vital buttons or anything, and he motions for you to follow him.
So I take my helmet off and I just tell him, before you go in there, I think one of my teammates has cast a silent spell in there.
Yeah, I noticed. I tried to talk to them and they weren't listening, so I assumed as much. Or at least something similar. He opens the door, it opens, and he goes into the next one, it opens, and he goes through the door.
Yeah, I just follow along with him.
Alright. He goes to the crate, rips open one of the rations, and inside you see 3 potions inside one ration. And he says, well, not all the potions do the same thing. And he rips open another one. Plus, I assume that you can't take them all with you.
No, not all, just a few that would come in handy. I mean, we might be going into our deaths there.
Alright. And he rips open another one and he goes, whoa, this is something. And he takes out the 3 vials and he passes them to you. They're actually not vials, they're in syringe packs. So, basically they're injectable. You press a button on the end of it, you just put it up next to the person, press the button, and it automatically injects the payload. So, it injects whatever's in the syringe.
Well, these surely are handy.
So he passes them to you and he says, these are revival stims.
I'll remember that.
Revival stims can bring you back to life if you've been dead for about a minute.
Well, I think the thing is, if I die.
You sound pretty confident, that's why we took you on.
Well, I was never hit by a single bullet. I mean, have you seen this armor?
He looks it over and he says, yeah, it's an official vision armor, it looks like. He knocks on it.
Yes, stole it.
I guess they weren't lying about you. You really are part of the law enforcement around here.
Well, let's just say law enforcement.
See. And he rips open the other ones and he says, most of these aren't that good. But here.
Well, let's.
He grabs a group of 3 of them and he passes them to you and he says, these are superior.
Okay.
Superior stims. Basically, superior healing potions. But they
Okay,
call
let
them
me.
stims. He says, looks like these other ones are garbage. And he picks one up and he shows it to you and he says, this is for healing basic injuries. That's what most of these are. And he puts it back in the box.
Yeah,
Basically, he's indicating that they're the lowest potion.
yeah. We need nearly the best kind for us.
So he passes you 3 of those, and he passed you 3 revival stims, which revive a person if downed. So
Yeah,
if you inject somebody who is making death saving throws, they automatically succeed. They crit a death saving throw automatically, which revives them with 1 HP. However, if they are in dying state, it's the same thing. They revive with 1 HP.
Okay.
So, it only can be used within the minute of their death. So if they sort of just die off, if you get to them after a minute is over, then this thing won't work.
So don't run too far, Kitty.
Either way, he gives them to you and he says, well, good luck on the mission. I better get back to making sure we're on course. The wind sometimes blows the automated off course.
Yeah, I bet.
He goes back into his area. So now you have those items. And to move things along a little bit, is there anything else that you wanted to do while on the ship?
Well, of course, take the grenade launcher and attach it to my own gun.
Easily done within 12 hours.
Yeah, I have the fire axe, so we
So
have
if
to.
you find any grenades, then you can just sort of... You have to pull the pin, but once the pin is pulled, you just drop it into the bottom part and it just fires it further than you would be able to throw it. That's
Unless you're
basically
really strong.
Yes, that's true. So, do you guys want to go to the civilian building first, or do you want to go to the bunker right away?
I mean,
I'd
how
say
far away
bunker.
was the civilian building?
Yeah.
It's about 5 miles away.
Because it seems like a bunker then. Because it won't be any point shutting down the light there and have everyone panic. So might as well just try to go to the bunker.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because you guys seemed interested in that. To be honest, I actually added the civilian building because I didn't have that all prepared, but I would have done it. I had a plan that I came up with in all that time. So if you wanted to go there, you still could have. Either way, you guys. He says, "Hey," and he bangs on the window. 5 minutes to drop.
So, Moat nods and sticks his thumb up.
I
Alright.
get ready to drop. I'm assuming we're dropping from the air, right?
You're not sure, but from the briefing, he said that they weren't going to get close to the ground because each dropship has identification number on the bottom. And if they're too close to the ground, then anybody close by can read it, and they would know that it's the one that was stolen.
Yep.
So they're going to try to stay as high as possible. Though you don't have any parachutes.
I don't need any, so it's fine.
You're not sure how your buddies, in that case, would be able to get down to the ground.
That's not my problem.
I get
Either
it.
way. Sorry,
We'll
I couldn't
make
hear
it
you.
your problem.
So it's 5 minutes till we drop.
Yeah.
I'll head over to the pilot or whoever said it.
Mhm.
Can I get parachute? Me no die today.
He goes, for someone who's so experienced, you're not really experienced with how these things work, are you? And he points to the ceiling, and you see those things that you were holding onto when you were standing up. He says, just grab one of those, I'll lower it for you.
I grab one of those so he can lower it for me.
All right. He lowers it a little bit so you can see that it's attached to a cable, and he basically indicates that if you jump while holding it, then you can safely go down to the ground. So, unless there's anything that you guys want to do to prepare before you drop.
No, not to my knowledge.
All right. Anybody who has to worry about falling has to grab one of those things, and the door opens, and the wind just blasts in, and you look down, and you see what looks like an Antarctic type region. It's all frozen solid in the area that you can see. And you look down, and it's just ice. And he says, hurry up and drop before they figure out this is a stolen dropship.
So
I jump out.
Yeah, Marut grabs one of those things and jumps out.
Alright, and he hits the button for the one that you grabbed, and it starts going down like a bungee cord or anything else. It just slowly lowers you down. So everybody jumped out?
Yeah.
Alright, it takes the ones who are grabbing the cables about, I'll say, a minute and a half of falling before you reach the ground. The one who didn't grab a cable, how do you plan to prevent fall damage?
I have slow fall as a monk, 4th level. I don't take fall damage. I can walk on the wind downwards.
Okay, fair enough. I just was asking. So you can fall. You can choose to fall if you want, and then when you get close, you can slow down. Just so that way it doesn't take as much time. And you get to the ground before they do, and it is relatively dark out at this point. It's like dusk, starting to get close to dark, completely dark. And you just land on the ground, and you look around. Make a perception check, since you're the first one.
22.
Wow, 22. You land on the ground, and you look back and forth. You're still technically visible at this point.
No, I'm invisible because you said it was dark.
It's relatively dark. There's still sunlight.
If it's relatively dark, I can be invisible, as long as it's not brightly lit.
Alright, I'll say that for thematic sake, for now, you're visible, so that way they know where you landed.
Okay.
And you sort of look around, and you see what looks like a skyscraper in the background, which is what you were expecting to see. And you see what looks like a metal circular plate that is on top of the ground, about 250 feet away from you. And you see two guys standing next to it.
Okay.
And as they land next to you, you turn invisible because it just barely got dark enough.
I tell the other two to hide, and I hide from the two guards that's over there.
Yeah, you turned invisible at that point.
So as soon as I land, I let go of the cord and, well, follow the advice of our invisible friend.
Alright. As soon as you guys reach the ground, the cords begin to retract, but he doesn't wait for them to fully retract as he starts flying away.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already gone.
So stealth check this, and I have disadvantage.
Well, not
6.
yet, where you're standing.
Yes, because my
You're
plate
about
armor.
250 feet away at this point, so you start to duck down, and it looks like the guards are looking in your direction anyway.
Yeah, and I'm in plate armor. That gives me disadvantage at stealth rolls.
Yeah. So they're looking at you. They see you. Anybody else making stealth?
14.
I have advantage because I'm invisible.
Or
Sorry?
it's chain heavy. I don't remember if it's heavy or medium armor.
That's medium,
Okay.
I think.
Make. I don't remember if that's disadvantage or regular.
That's
What medium armor do you have? What was your
Chain.
AC? What?
Chainmail.
chain armor. Yeah.
Chainmail.
It is heavy armor, my bad.
Well, if you're wearing heavy armor, then why don't you just use plate? You can get higher AC.
Oh, it is heavy armor. Cool. Mind if I change the plate, sir?
That's fine with me. Alright, so you have similar looking armor to him, except yours doesn't have the insignias that his has, which indicates that he's part of the vision.
Well, wait,
Which you're aware that he is part of the Vision's forces.
Wait, that's true. I don't have to hide because of my armor. Totally
Yes,
forgot
and you
that.
have a pass that can get you into restricted areas.
So I just dropped down, letting it look like that I dropped something.
Alright, you start
And then
bending
get
down.
back up. And then get back up.
Alright, you
Holding,
bend down and
holding.
you scratched at the ground for a second and then you stand back up.
Well, then as I get up, I grab my pass and hold it up towards them so that they see that I have access.
Alright, they're holding rapid fire weapons, and they didn't assume anything bad yet, but now that they see that you're doing that, they look in your direction and see that.
I tell you I say not loudly, of course, but I tell you that once you get close enough to attack them, I could jump at them at any point. And it starts moving, so I'm within 60 feet of them.
Alright. So the only thing that is visible at this point is your footprints in the snow-like covering on this ice sheet. However, you got a 30, so they're probably not going to notice you because you're confident that they're not going to see you.
So, to earn their trust, I start walking up to them and then show them my pass so that I can inspect it.
Plum, you notice that they're looking right at you.
With the 14?
She had to roll a disadvantage, correct?
Oh yeah, so another roll.
I did not roll my second one.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that that's gonna be super low, but either way, that's why I said that.
Ooh.
So they're looking right at you, like I said. So you may as well stand up.
All right, I stand up. Me here for party.
All right, that's what you say, but the guards over there don't hear you yet. You're not close enough for that yet.
Yeah,
So
well.
you approach, and now since he seems to have this covered, so Plum, are you going to follow along with his lead? He seems to have this in hand. He's acting really confident and walking up. If you said anything, Plum, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, me here for party.
Okay, fair enough. So you sort of have a bodyguard orc following along with you.
I ready an action once I get close enough to jump out from the shadow and attack them.
Alright, you're 50 feet away when the guards say, "Hold!"
No, I moved 60 feet away. Or
yeah,
them.
No,
okay.
Not you. They don't see you. You're invisible.
Yeah.
So
they're talking to the other two.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe they had heat vision or something.
No. They don't have helmets on.
Yeah, so at 50 feet I'd stop and keep holding my pass.
One of them begins to approach. And as he's approaching, he's about 30 feet away when he says this. He says, "What is your business here? We aren't expecting anybody."
Party.
Such.
He looks over towards the orc and he sort of furrows his brow suspiciously, and then he looks back at you.
Yeah, as he is watching the orc, I just snap a finger. Attention here. He's, well, my partner.
Alright. I see that you have the Vision's armor and a pass. And he looks at it from that far away, and he sort of just squints and he says, "You have adequate authorization level. However, we're, again, not expecting anyone."
Yeah, that's the thing about unexpected checkups.
He goes, "Alright, did you want in, or did you just want to look around at us?"
Obviously, I want in.
"Alright, I'm gonna have to do an inspection." And he starts walking up towards you closer.
As expected.
Yes.
Wouldn't want any less.
So he walks up 20 feet away from him, 10 feet away, 5
So-
feet away,
I'm just playing it all along.
and he steps into the 5-foot space, so now he is within melee range of you.
Hmm
And he goes, "Arms out."
So I stretched my arms out.
And he starts patting you down, even though you have armor on. And he starts looking for hidden compartments with anything. And he goes, "I realize you have official hidden compartments. I'm gonna have to check those." And he goes up to one on your leg, which you usually have a bootstrap knife or something like that. You left it empty as a precaution, just in case they did something like this. And he opens it, closes it, and goes, "Alright, you're gonna have to relinquish your weapon as you enter."
Nothing less expected from this place. So the pistol.
Yeah, he takes the pistol, and he puts it
I
on.
hold it and just hold my hand up. You know, if something happens to this place, shouldn't I be able to defend myself?
He looks both ways and he says, "We'd see it coming from a mile away. You're safe, buddy." And he pats you on the shoulder.
I really hope so, cause, well, things have been rowdy lately.
He nods at you almost sarcastically as he begins to try to take your handgun from you.
So as he tries to take it, I just flip it towards him with the handle towards him so they can take it.
He takes it, and he puts it in his side holster, which he currently has nothing in. And he goes, "The other one."
So I take my gun off and then hand that to him. And I'm actually waiting for our tabaxi friend to take something out like the second guard.
So you
Alright.
were attacking one of the guards, right?
Well, I'm
No.
waiting for you to act on the second guard, cause
There's one standing by the plate, the metal plate that's in the middle of the frozen wasteland, which you assume is the entrance. And he's just sort of standing there looking at them as they're doing the check. And the other
Yeah.
guard is standing in front of them doing the check. So
'Cause
while
I'm
he's
just-
doing the check, you can do something if you want.
I'm just doing a ready action to attack the guard that's standing at the entrance, not the one with him, as soon as something happens.
well, something is happening. They're disarming me.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
taking
well-
his weapons.
I don't know what that's all about. I assume you have it under control. I mean, you should be a professional at this point.
I'll say that during those 12 hours, you guys would have came up with hand signals.
Hmm
So
Yeah.
you can give your hand signal to him if you want.
Yeah. So as soon as I flip the pistol, there's a finger like on the barrel,
Mhm.
saying that looks like I'm holding a pistol in reverse towards him.
Okay, so that's the signal.
Okay, so that means from behind the other guy, I come and I just Yeah, I just appear behind him, and I'm gonna attack him first with advantage. 29,
Oof.
29
hits.
hits.
and that's where's my 1d6 sneak attack? And I'll attack him again. No, that was angry swipe, so -2 damage. So it should be 11, 6, and 6.
Okay.
11,
Then
6
for
is,
this-
makes 23.
And then for the second attack, 17.
17 just barely hits.
Okay, that's 16 damage. And I'll have him make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright, just give me a second here.
That's a lot of damage you're dealing out in one turn.
I think that's why he chose this setup.
Yeah. That's
Alright, he is still standing as he
Yeah,
takes
'cause-
the Constitution.
that's 39 total damage.
Alright, Constitution.
I don't know how sturdy these guards are. There's 2 of them and 3 of us.
Mhm.
I'll probably have to spend a key.
Well, considering that they're guarding the leader of a regime,
Yes.
they're not wimps. I'll say that.
Yeah, so con save.
Alright. 23.
I could have him make another one for the second attack.
If you want, go ahead. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do it, because I don't know how sturdy they are yet. Okay.
13.
So my DC should be...
You're level 10.
Actually, yeah, it's wisdom based, so he does succeed, barely.
Smart. Not so
My
smart,
DC is
kitty.
13.
Alright.
So yeah, I'll just keep clawing into him then. I'll spend a Fury of Blows.
Alright.
24
24
That
hits.
and 20.
Alright. 16.
Plus 18.
Yeah, he goes unconscious. You just barely did enough damage to get him down.
I'm not gonna bother putting the numbers together, so that's how much health.
So they have 75 health
Okay,
for future reference.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
So he
I'm
goes
not.
down, he's knocked unconscious, but he's...
Do you?
I tried to grab him so he doesn't completely fall down. I assume I did it somewhat quietly.
Alright. Yeah, I'll say that since you had a 30 stealth when you went to hit him, then you were smart enough to make it quiet enough so that way the other guard couldn't hear. So, more off, you sort of just slightly glance behind him, hopefully not notifying the guard that you're passing your handgun to, that you're seeing something happen behind him. And you see the guard just get and then knocked over.
Well, then I just hand my big gun to him.
Alright?
I just hold it and tell him, I warn you, it's heavy.
Alright, so you're holding it in the firing position at him?
No,
Or-
like in the sideways, so let's just
Reverse?
pointing towards this.
Okay. Okay, it's sideways. Okay.
Yeah.
He takes it and he goes, and he just sort of puts it. He sort of starts sliding it into his holster, which you now notice is empty again, and he slides that big weapon into his holster.
And then I grab my axe. So where do they go, the weapons?
Pocket dimension.
Okay, just checking.
You're familiar with history, I'm sure. And
Yeah,
he starts
I am.
taking your axe from you.
Well, as he starts taking it, I just grab it and swing.
He starts to say, "It's like a bag of." So go ahead. He basically was gonna say that it's like a bag of holding.
Oh no.
You swing at him and he goes, and he pushes you back, and he goes, "What the hell,
I have a
man?"
second.
Alright, 16 misses.
Ugh.
His AC is 17.
I try to let it look like I'm slipping, not expecting it to be this slippery on the ice,
Alright,
so to say.
he goes, "What the hell, man?" And he starts grappling you a little bit. Are you going to resist his grapple?
No, well, I'm just letting grapple and go like, ooh, bit slippery than I thought.
And he starts setting you upright. Plum, are you doing anything? It seems like he's actually attacking him, but the guard is a little naive at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the what is it called?
Your
The
main gun?
The blunt side of it.
Yeah,
Alright.
don't make a noise. Smart.
No slashy, just hit.
Alright. I'll say that you can use your melee ability with the bayonet, except it's not fire damage, it's bludgeoning damage.
Oh, okay. Well, here it is. I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah, 23.
11 regular damage.
Alright. Do you have a second attack?
I can.
Alright,
Do it.
you're gonna have to hit him. Alright. Give me the damage.
What class are you?
Fighter, I guess.
Yeah, fighter.
Okay.
So we got 2 fighters.
What archetype?
Brute.
Brute?
Yeah, trying it out.
Ah.
A champion.
Alright, he took the damage, and he goes, and he starts backing off of you, letting go of the grapple, because he was helping you up, is what he was doing. And he
So
goes, "Restrain your friend!"
keep it. We'll keep it down. It's damn slippery around it. I don't know. Is everything okay, Plum?
So I
Alright.
assume it's my turn next, or?
At this point, I need you to make a persuasion, or a deception.
Deception. 17.
You actually succeed. He goes, "That's no excuse! You hit me twice!"
Well, it's quite slippery, and he might have been eager to give you his weapon as well to give the good example.
Whatever, just stop this. And he holds his hand out for the weapon.
So is it my turn next, or?
Yes, I'll let you go.
How far? It was 50 feet away, right?
Yeah.
So I can move up to him without using any other thing than movement.
Alright. And you hear them actually relatively well deceiving him somehow.
So yeah, I'll just scratch both of his. I'll just scratch it both of his back legs.
Alright.
One's a 13 and one's a 16, so they both miss. It's slippery on the ice.
Alright. Just a second. Okay. 13 and 16, yeah, you missed both times. And with a plus 12, you're rolling really crappily.
For my bonus action, I can.
Are you still invisible? Is that how that class
No. My ability here on invisible is when I'm in dim light or darkness, Or actually, it doesn't say. It just reveals me when I attack, so I assume I'm revealed now.
Yeah.
And my teleportation is a bonus action.
Does it say when it reestablishes invisibility?
Whenever I'm in dim light or darkness, I can use a bonus action to teleport 60 feet. You have
More
advantage on the first melee attack that turn.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the
Where's
invisibility.
that? Oh no, that wasn't this level yet. Never
So
mind.
you're
It's
not
just
invisible.
a teleportation I have. I'm not invisible.
Alright, fine.
Yeah.
It's
So
already happened, so I'm going to allow it.
Yeah.
Technically, you got that 30 on that first one, so my thematic description, you were visible anyway, so...
20 for the last one. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, I misread the levels.
that's alright. First I'm using a character, that's fine. So 19. You actually doubled the amount of damage that he had on him. Alright,
That's my turn.
he goes "Ugh," from behind, and he's about to turn around.
I also say it's slippery.
Morath, he got hit from behind by a visible cat person. It's your turn,
Well, I
Morath.
guess you're doing a bad job of it. Well, better put you out of your misery.
Oh no, it's slippery again.
But
No,
first one
25
hits.
hits.
I said roll.
Ooh, that's a bad roll.
Yeah. We're not having the best of luck.
You swing it
Rob?
at him. Are you going for lethal? Because everybody else is, I guess, going lethal.
No, I was.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you were hitting with the button, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah. Well,
It's just helping me describe what's happening. So lethal or non-lethal?
well, with an axe is kind of hard, you know.
Yeah, you could turn the head around and hit him with
But
it.
then you have a very hard bludgeoning weapon.
Just kill him, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're
Just-
swinging to kill, it
Yep.
changes my description. So go ahead, whichever one.
Swinging to kill.
All right. So you actually managed to get into a crack in his armor with the sharp edge of the axe, and it hits into his shoulder, and he goes, "Ah, betrayer!" That's your turn, I assume.
Well, let me just check one thing. You can push yourself beyond your.
The action surge and stuff recharges on a short rest, if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's what I'm checking.
It's short rest.
Yeah, okay, well, I think I can do that, right?
If you
Well,
want.
then,
If you want to do
well, I just have my fire axe, so swingity swing swing. Gosh, darn it!
It's uncanny. And
No.
he gets hit again in the same broken part of his armor, and he goes. And he said the same thing as he did before.
This
Well,
guard is a little slow.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, still need
Well,
to put
he's
him out
out
of
in the
misery.
middle of a blizzard, barren wasteland, and he sees people approaching, and they actually have ID to get in. So he's willing to give them the benefit of the doubt the first time that they try to hit him. All right.
So now it's Plum's turn.
Yeah.
Still gonna do the same thing. I still think we need him alive.
Well, if you
No, we
kill him,
don't.
he's alive.
Plus, the characters rule under the same rules as you guys. So if you intend on saving him, technically it takes him a little bit of time to die before he dies. So you can save him if you want after. It's up to you. So go ahead. If you're doing melee damage.
I'll do regular damage since we could probably just bring him back.
Right?
So it'll be fire damage.
17 just barely hits. And 22
19
hits.
total fire damage.
So he gets burnt on his other arm and he goes, "Ah! No! This isn't happening!"
Well, looks like it is.
Alright. What do you... So is that your turn?
That's Plum's turn, so not my turn. You can try and intimidate him, perhaps? I don't know.
You can use a free action, your movement, or...
No,
None of that? Alright. So, it is actually his turn, because how I did it was, since,
Yeah, him, then me, then back to...
Yeah, it was you, because you were at the top of the turn order, is how I put it. So, he's at the bottom, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So, he is going to do the best thing he can do. Draw your enchanted weapon.
And he first needs to actually get it to work.
He can shoot it, unfortunately. So,
Well, he might just pull it out and pull the trigger when he notices that it isn't working.
did you disable it? You would have had to have told me that you disabled it.
Oh, yeah. Well, safety on, safety is everything.
Well, he would have noticed as he was taking it, if it was on or off.
Yeah, so safety
If
on.
you were physically disabling it, is what I mean. Like, had
Oh, no,
a disable
that
switch
would-
or something on it.
Oh, no, that, no.
So, since he has a +3 to hit,
Let's see if he can hit.
he's aiming. Let's roll a d3. Since he is being hit by... Okay, so the worst possible choice. Who has the lowest AC?
19.
24?
24.
Well, I
Alright.
don't have armor, if that's an answer.
Lowest AC. So least likely to dodge.
Plum.
Plum. Alright, that's who's aiming for.
Bring it.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Does not hit.
His normal attack is 5, and he got +3, which is 8. So he takes the machine gun, and it shoots a little bit harder than he was expecting, and he actually just aims off to the side, and it just shoots on the ground. And he goes, and he goes for it again. Even worse this time. So it seems like he hurt his arm or something. And like one of his arms is hurt from you guys attacking, and it seems like his muscles aren't able to stay in place properly. And he's just aiming off wildly. Alright, that's him.
Got the Buxy friend.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna just hit him 3 times.
Okay.
2 hit,
18,
1 misses.
25. So, if that's enough to take him.
Let's see.
It's
Yeah, that's enough. He's down. Technically, the first hit would have taken him.
Yep.
So he's
So
down.
I lounge at his throat, ripping into it.
All right. So you guys witness as he is starting to rip out the throat of this guard.
While he's busy with that, I take the bag of holding.
All right. If anybody has a problem with him killing the guard, now wouldn't be the time.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So I take the bag of holding and I take my gun back.
Yeah, it's a holster of holding.
Oh,
Technically.
holster. That, yeah. That.
Yeah, and it looks like it would hold a pistol. Though you witnessed him put your big machine gun in there, the opening opens wider depending on which weapon he's putting in. It's basically a bag of holding for weapons only.
So yeah, I put my gun in there, take out my pistol.
All right. You can take it if you want. He's unconscious.
Yeah, I take the.
So you
take
can
the
use
holster.
it, is what I'm trying to say. You can put your
Yeah.
weapons inside it if you want.
Yeah, I'm just holding out my pistol as I know things will go downhill from where we are now.
All right. So you don't know what other weapons are inside this bag of holding. However, later on you might just destroy it if you want to get in it. If you
Well,
really want what's inside it, because you don't know what else is in there, so you'd have to just picture all the things in the world, which might take a long time. So later on you might just destroy it. Might be easier.
Well, no, I'm not going to destroy it. So I'm just gonna. So I reach it and I think of grenades.
All right. You think of grenades? He doesn't have any.
Knives.
He doesn't have any. Seems like he's at this post and nobody's come to visit for a while. He doesn't really have very many weapons.
So I'm just guessing any kind of rifle or shotgun or sniper, anything in that list.
Okay, so while he does this is going to take like 5 minutes for him to start picturing these things and reaching in to see if it's there. So what are you guys doing? Plum gonna try to stop him or not?
No. There's no
Alright.
point.
That guard is gone.
There's no point.
The other one, however, is unconscious. So if you want him, you still have a guard that's unconscious.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Bullet. Methinks we need one of them to get inside.
Bullet will bury this one. Bullet thinks you should bury that one. Or hide. And I go off to bury the guy I killed just now.
Alright, it's ice in this area, so you can try to dig through the ice, which you probably are. Your claws are enchanted, so they're powerful enough to dig through if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
What? Well, why do it the hard way, man? You have someone with a laser that can melt things.
Well, if you want to do it, then do it. Because
I don't have
currently
it.
I'm just dragging it by.
I don't have it. Plum has it.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask for it. I'm just going off to bury it. If she wants to do that, she has to just come over to me.
Alright. Plum, what are you doing? Because what they're doing is going to take a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'll just stand, watch to make sure that, like, somebody doesn't come up.
Alright, you start looking, and it's a metal plate that's cut in half. Seems like it opens that way. And you notice that there's a metal pillar, very small one, like a rod. And it has a red thing on top of it. You're not sure what that's for. Unless if you look at it closer. But you see that while you're waiting. Unless
Okay.
if you,
I'll have
do you
a
want
look.
to look at it?
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Alright. So now everything is going to start happening. So, make an investigation check.
Investigation. Awesome. Yeah, pass.
Alright, you just sort of nonchalantly are looking at it. Doesn't seem like there's anything weird about it. So you just sort of hit the red thing on the top, and the metal thing just goes. opens. And there's a path downward into the ground.
Perception.
Sure.
Look path. 22.
You look in there. You don't see anything except for a white dot in the distance. Which from the blueprints, it might be a spotlight area. Down, way down.
Hey guys,
Huh?
see this?
Yeah, that's the way we need to go.
Welcome.
Alright, we're gonna go over to Giovanni's character, Morath.
Mhm.
You start reaching into that holster. You don't feel anything other than the weapons that you had.
And then just shrug and then just head towards the hole. Do I
Right.
notice that the backseat dragging off the body?
Yes.
Probably. I'm not trying to hide it.
So I go like, there's lots of ice here and lots of a little bit of ground. Maybe you can ask Plum for his laser device on his weapon.
Do you pay attention?
I continue dragging him off to bury him. There's
Alright.
another guard over there. I point towards the other guard.
Yeah, and he's
Died.
unconscious. His wounds aren't lethal.
So I just tie him up then
Alright.
with whatever we can.
And for the sake of time, he's tied up, and the tabaxi digs the hole and with his enchanted claws and puts him in there and then buries him with the snow-like ice that he peeled up in order to make the hole in the first place. And luckily, since you dug it up like that, it turned into white ice, so that way anybody who's looking from above can't see it.
So I'll come over to the other two. So
Yeah.
before we go down there, we shouldn't leave one of the guards up here. He could wake up. He could alert people. We could be trapped from both sides.
How is he going to alert people when he's tied up?
Well, it's not the hardest thing to get out of ropes. I've done it many times.
Plus, you're aware that he'll be unconscious for at least an hour.
This mission will take more than an hour, yes?
Yes.
Might be more than an hour. Do you
You
want to
have to
get?
walk a quarter mile just to get into the bunker, and you're not sure what is in this quarter mile path.
Yeah, quarter of a mile is going to take us at least 10, 15, or 10 minutes to walk it if there's a few things in the way.
So yeah, I could like get us through with my pass and like make it look like an unannounced inspection, even unannounced by the vision.
Bullet does not think that will work when they find out the guards are not here. Bullet thinks we'll be trapped from all sides.
Yeah, Bullet can think that, but never tried, never know, right?
Bullet will not die here today.
Bullet
Your
can turn.
choice.
What did you say, sorry?
Bullet can turn invisible.
Bullet, only sometimes. I don't think I can do it anymore.
Yeah, technically, class can't do that. Yeah.
If I crit, then yes, sure, we'll say that or something.
Well, just walking my shadow.
Alright, are you guys heading in?
I'm heading in.
Do you want to? Okay, so do you want to kill him first, or do you want to just gag him too?
Well, I tied him up, and well, he
Yeah.
can't go anywhere.
Probably should gag him.
So I'm
Bullet
just
wants to
going.
bury him.
Bullet. Yo, that's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, it took you like 5 minutes to do the other guy.
Yeah.
Let's just carry him, or even put him in the bag of the bag of holding. This side thing of holding.
Not gonna
Bullet
work.
finds this acceptable.
Not gonna work. It only allows weapons.
Have you tried?
Yes.
Bullet doesn't think you have tried. He's been over here all the time.
So I take the holster, put it over my arm, and then when it doesn't go further, I say, "See."
Yeah, so basically he's trying to put his hand in the thing,
Oh.
and it only goes past his hand. It only allows his hand inside.
Okay.
So then I put it back and then and stand by the stairs. So are we going?
Yeah.
Bullet thinks you should block the door or break the door.
So trapping us inside.
That's what we don't want.
Yeah, the
Nobody
door's
has returned from here before. Bullet thinks we should break the door.
so the door is already open.
For
The
how
door
long?
is open currently.
You're welcome.
Basically, like what I'm saying is we should break the door because we don't know if it will be locked once we get inside and have no way out. Because nobody who entered has come out.
Well, I bet there will not be explosives in there. So don't worry, we can blow ourselves out.
Do you have explosives on you?
No, but there will be in there.
Then we should block the door.
You guys could have had explosives, you just didn't
I
take that guy's plastic explosive.
I have explosives.
You do?
Yeah. The little bag. The toolbox.
Oh, you took the toolbox?
Yeah.
You took the whole toolbox?
Yeah.
Okay, so she had, or her character has the whole toolbox. So you stole his entire toolbox.
I took it.
Yeah,
I
he
have-
offered it, but either way.
I have
Um,
small pieces of plastic explosive, hacky things.
So so Plum actually has a small piece of plastic explosive.
See, no problem.
Do I think that will be enough to break the door?
You make a history check.
History.
See whether or not you've used plastic explosive before. You have not used plastic explosive before. So you're not sure how much that explodes.
And you are certain this will work?
Trust me, it will work.
I will follow along then. First,
So-
I'm like moving him. I'm cutting the ropes off and I'm moving him further away from the entrance.
Don't cut his ropes off, damn it. Stupid
He's not
cat.
tied to anything. He's just tied.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You just lift him.
Yeah, I'll lift him and carry him further away. Bullet will come soon.
So
You can
I
go
start
ahead.
I start heading down.
All right. It's not
Making-
stairs as traditional downward slants usually are. It's just a large hallway. It's large and open and made entirely of concrete. And you're walking down. You get about. All three of you get in there about. 40 feet. When suddenly the door goes. Closes.
Blow the door up.
I just ignore. I just watch him. Plum and says, "Don't,
Blow the door up.
don't."
We have no way out now.
Plum
I
has the
I'll
plastic
run up to
explosive.
the door.
Plum can choose whether or not to do so.
Don't.
we make door explode. They know we're here.
That's right.
I don't know.
Bullet thinks we're trapped there now. Nowhere to go.
And as he says this, the little white dot that you saw in the distance fades, and the lights on the wall turn red and are on. Seems as though this area is now on emergency power.
Well, seems like they already took it out.
You're not sure why, but it is.
So Mort takes out his badge and holds it up.
You're not sure. You don't see a camera, but you sort of hold it up and flash it around.
Yeah, just to be sure.
You hear a voice come over what sounds like an intercom, and it says, "You shouldn't have killed those guards if you wanted to use that ruse."
Well, I
What
was
did you say? You shouldn't have.
Yeah, you should not have killed those guards if you wanted to use that ruse. And you guys recognize this voice. This is the voice of the Vision.
I tried to open the door out. I have
The
Teams
door
tools if
does
that
not
helps.
open. You hear over the intercom, "It's on emergency power. When this area is on emergency power, the door is not able to open."
Obviously.
Tula thinks you should blow it up now.
No, we go forward. So I still hold my pistol, pop out my shield. Well, it's more like an arm shield.
Alright. And as you pull out your arm shield, it comes out more like an energy shield along your arm. So it's just a thing that's on your arm, technically, but you have to hold your arm like this in order for it to be useful. So that's why it takes up your arm.
And I hold that. I put my God damn it! I just lost the word. Handy me. I put my badge away and hold out my pistol. Well, if we're gonna play that way.
The voice goes, "To think, we thought you were an exemplary member of the Visionary Force."
I was, but I was one of the smarter ones.
Well, good luck with the gauntlet.
The gauntlet won't be a problem.
You see about 100 feet in front of you. Well, not 100 feet. More like 50 feet in front of you. You see an indent in the wall on both sides. The room is lit red. You see what looks like a large puddle of dark substance around that area. And actually make perception checks, all of you.
I'm still at the door, so I don't see it. I'm
Okay.
looking at the door.
Ooh, plum notice.
I see it.
You see what looks like dead people just sort of slumped over in the corner of this alcove on the outsides of the wall on both sides.
Am I near Morath or Bullets over yonder, yeah?
Yeah, Bullet's looking the other way, apparently.
Okay, I'm gonna nudge Morath.
So if he nudges, so I think he is thinking of episode 10 in investigation.
You're looking to see what? What are you looking to see?
Well, for perhaps what could have, put these people to the side, and if it is a trap.
Alright. You look and you see an obvious white string along the ground that is singed black, and you see ahead of that pool that I described little scorch marks on the floor.
So I fire a shot, not at Bullet, but close to him so that I get his attention.
Ping!
Kitty cat.
I catch the bullet.
I'll allow it.
So I go, kitty cat. There's a string here, so don't step on it.
I won't.
Seems like they're heading deeper. Are you staying at the door,
How
Bullet?
far away are they?
They're going 60, 70 feet away from you now, as they're walking in.
They'll try to figure out the door then for now. Until I can't see them anymore.
You can see down this entire hallway, which is a quarter mile.
Oh, okay.
So you can see them.
I'll stay up here for now then. Trying to
Alright.
figure out this door,
Okay.
how to open it.
Are you guys approaching the string?
Well, we step over the string.
The string
go.
is just sort of. Oh, sorry. I guess that we'll have to pick up this up later.
Keep
Yeah.
going. My character is free for you guys to do whatever you want to do with him.
Okay.
I can watch this.
Sure. We'll go for another little bit, but the thing is that her character is probably gonna die, but
For her.
yeah, that's why I don't want to go too long.
Too far.
Yeah, this we'll go to this next part.
Okay.
The string is on the ground. It's loose. It's not taut. As if the trap has already been activated.
So I just step over just to be sure.
Alright. That happens. Are you... The next visible thing is the bodies. Do you want to approach them?
No. That seems a bit too much. Like, why would it be at the side?
Alright. Do you attempt to walk past them? To
Yes.
this torch march? Okay. As that happens, you hear... Are you... A voice from one of the bodies.
I look over and then try to figure out which body it was.
You see now, one of the bodies was a dragonborn, a green one, and it was just sort of laying lax. Suddenly, now it's looking directly at you.
I move over to it. Is it like dying state?
You see that it has wounds on it, or at least it appears to, from this distance, and it is just sort of laying there. You know that the recon team, well, the scouting team, got there about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
This might be one of the members of the recon team.
So is he like in a dying state? Is that saving throws and such?
You have to make a medicine check to get that.
Okay, well, I will do that. Medicine, where did I leave? There you go. 4,
4.
damn it.
You're not sure.
So, just to be safe, I'm going to give him the superior.
Alright. You can do that if you wish.
I will.
But as soon as you attempt to do that, he puts his hand up and bats your hand away, and he goes, "You're just lucky that you're hiding in this alcove. He can't see you here."
Well, that's good. So, you're the only one that survived.
I don't know how long I've been here, but this is the only place I can remain safe.
Well, you have been a week.
I feel like this is my resting place.
Well, don't.
He starts to stand up, and this alcove is about 10 feet deep, and you are currently in the 5-foot space that prevents the end of the hallway. Let's say that there's somebody with binoculars at the end of the hallway, they wouldn't be able to see you here, because you're off to the side. And he goes, "I don't know why he's giving you a chance."
Maybe to see how far we will come.
And he sort of motions towards the string, and he motions towards the scorch marks, and he says, "The string didn't do anything. We tripped it accidentally. Nothing happened."
And the scorch marks.
"That is from him," and he points over. You see a guy who has a flamethrower pack that is currently exploded.
Ah, yeah.
And he goes, "There aren't any traps in this hallway."
The entire gauntlet is trapless. You're
That's what
telling
I
me.
said. You can believe me or not.
Well, I do.
He
So,
didn't pass that alcove before he started.
well, as they're speaking, more get some rations out. I guess you're hungry.
Alright, he grabs it and he goes, "Wasting food on the dying." And he eats it.
No, you're not dying, and you're gonna make it.
"No, I'm not. Because I'm going to show you." And he pushes you out of the way. What he does! And he stands out in the hallway and he just puts his arms out and you hear. And then he just stands there for a second. And then you hear. And his head just blows off.
I wanted to stop him before he could actually do that.
Well, it was less than a turn before he did that.
Yeah. So yeah, couldn't react.
Yeah. So you heard a loud bang, and then his head just vanished.
Could I perhaps perceive where that bang came from?
Sure, give it a perception check. See if
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
also
pick up.
looking down towards there now.
20.
Actually, you see, ping, go off the door.
Off the
next to
door, next to me. I try to find where it shot from.
you. Okay, you can make a perception check.
So I have a 20.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna see what he gets. Okay. With your combined perceptions, you get the feeling that forget the cat guy's name. What's your name? Bullet.
Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet. You have a feeling that whatever caused that to happen, it went from down bottom to where you were. It wasn't going the other way. But however, Morath, you heard the bang come from down there.
So I put up my shield, hold my pistol out. Hold my pistol. Well, I try to hide as much as I can behind the shield as I go further down the gauntlet.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'm also
you
headed
peek
down
out.
now.
You peek out from your hidey hole. Do you peek out from the hidey hole?
Yeah, being behind my shield,
Okay.
which is a bit handier with an energy shield since, well, transparent.
And what I'm gonna say is Plum is behind you, just so that way we can make this easier.
I'm being very precautious, so basically every turn I'm doing the dodge action to prepare for any bullets coming in.
All right.
Who's it towards?
That is towards the guy who's peeking out.
Okay.
So 28
And
to
not
hit.
another roll.
Another roll.
Cloak of displacement.
Yeah, yes, cloak. So
21.
Nope.
You hold your shield out, and as you peek around, you hear, and then you feel the go off your shield.
So as soon as it hits, I stretch out my pistol and start firing towards the direction the bullet came from.
All right. I need
Just
you to
unleashing
roll.
all hell.
I need you to roll. Go ahead.
28.
You miss. Because, however, he is using a weapon that has much longer range than yours, and yours the bullets just go ching, far distance down the hall. And
So-
you hear another
That hits.
37 and 30.
Well, that hits.
Alright, here's the fun part.
It's not a crit though, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a crit. Oops, I typed a really huge number in there that is bigger than the already huge number I'm supposed to type in here. I typed in like 1,000 and something. Anyway, you are dealt 46 damage as you get hit in the shoulder with a loud, resounding and you stumble backwards violently.
So I'm now at half HP. And I pop back into my hidey hole.
Alright? You hear the voice over the intercom. So, you underestimated me, did you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Wouldn't have taken that bullet after seeing that man's head explode if you weren't.
Well, you're the one taking things from afar, not from up close and personal.
I called it a gauntlet. Did you expect nothing?
Well, this is mostly nothing, just one straight way.
Straight enough for me to snipe down.
Well, good thing it's sniping then.
I look.
But Kane,
Is
but-
there any more of these holes in the walls further down?
Further down? Yes.
How far away are we from the next one?
From the next one, 100 feet.
100 feet.
so you can move
so
up.
I dash and I reach it.
Unfortunately, he was holding a reaction.
Okay.
He's a sniper. He's gonna wait until you're out in the open, and then he's gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
Do I have
Nope.
disadvantage on you?
I would have. Well, no, not if I dash. Not unless I spend keys, so no. But yeah, I have 24 AC.
Okay. So it doesn't matter. You hear and then it goes right where you would have been if you didn't manage to dash right into that cubby hole.
Okay. And I look further, like, is it 100 feet to the next one? Or what's the distance?
The distance to the next one is 100 feet.
Okay. So I'll just yell back towards
What?
Morat. We can make it there.
Well, you can, but I have an idea. Shoot out every light we see.
Should start shooting them out then.
So yeah, I start shooting out all the red lights.
Alright? You take multiple shots as you're attempting to disable them all at once. And it seems like they have some sort of metal plating on them that prevents them from being broken. And you hear over the intercom, didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
Well, I'm still in my cubby also. I put my pistol away and get out my bigger gun.
Alright, you do so.
And then try it with that one.
Alright? Nothing. And he goes, you really were obstinate, even in your police work. Seems like he knows who you are. Unsurprising, you showed your ID.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, that might be true. But I at least had the balls to show my face.
I am showing mine.
Oh
You
yeah,
just can't see it. You're too far away.
well, I dared to come up close and personal to the perps that actually were causing trouble. You, on the other hand,
Have devised a clever plan. That
while
took
he's
years to execute properly.
while the two of them are talking, I try to quietly get to the next one because I can teleport 60 feet of the way, and then just stay along the wall, hopefully not get hit, and I can use my action
Unfortunately,
as
he has
that.
an ability that allows him to make reaction shots without having to hold his action.
Okay, so he does that at a disadvantage. So.
So 19. He's rolling
19
really
doesn't
low.
hit. So yeah, I
Alright.
make it to the next one.
wait.
You hear another. And I need you, Bullet, to make a perception check
Perception. Okay. Something's
as
bad
you were
happening.
running.
Perception. 25. Crit.
Alright. At the end of this corridor, you see, just barely, but you got a crit, so you can see this relatively clearly in the few seconds that you were out in the hallway. You see what looks like a built-in bunker into this end of the hallway. There is a thin slot that is in the wall, and there's a door underneath. You have a feeling that whatever he's shooting you with, he's using this thin slot to protect himself, as well as leave as little room for you to get in that slot as possible while he can shoot you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you see that.
So yeah, I am going to have an idea. I stick out part of the shield.
You stick out the shield.
Yeah,
Alright, he still gets to roll. To see
just
if he
part of the
hits.
shield.
Yeah,
So
he still gets to roll to see if he hits the shield. Does he have disadvantage on the shield? I don't think so.
At all times, as long as he hasn't been hit. It goes away when he gets hit, but he gets it
Yeah.
up at the start of his turn. That's how the clock works.
yeah,
Okay, so I can say that he used the displacer image to put out the shield. To say that he doesn't get hit then.
mhm.
So,
Still wouldn't have hit.
he doesn't even hit the shield, he hits the displacer image. And he goes,
So yeah,
nice trick.
well, wasn't going to come out anyways. So I
Must
just
have stole that from the police evidence locker. Which you did.
yeah. I mean, what's it gonna do? Just sit there,
Yeah.
get our dust.
Yeah, a criminal had it, and you knew that it would be useful, so you went into the locker when you were planting evidence for somebody else, and you just sort of swiped it. But now you have a feeling that if this guy lives, you're not going to be able to go back to that police station.
Mm-hmm. So it's taking that guy out. That's a sure thing.
Okay, so I have a thing I want to test at least. 60 feet down in the hallway, so 70 feet, so 25 feet away from where the next door is. I'll start making it go black, magical darkness. So unless he can see through magical darkness, he can't see through. And I'll wait a little bit after that.
You hear over the intercom, "You think I don't have a heat detecting helmet? Are you willing to risk it?" That's what he says over the intercom.
Well, since that thing is magical darkness, it's a giant blob. I stick out my shield again.
Alright, you stick out your shield.
Not me, just the shield, so it wouldn't damage
you
me.
stick out the shield, so he has to roll to hit the shield, which has your armor class, technically.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 24 hits.
Alright. So he gets to roll this damage solely on your shield. Which is, here we go. He does 36 damage to your shield. Your energy part of the shield dissipates for a moment. And he goes,
Okay.
he goes, I'll break it if you're not careful.
As soon as he shot at him, I wanted to try and run over before he had another chance to shoot. Because I can dash
He
and
has
run.
a reaction, which he still has. He was using his regular attack to do that.
Okay, yeah. It's worth a try.
Is it
23.
disadvantage?
Yeah, or yeah.
It doesn't matter anyway. The first one was 23, which doesn't hit you.
So I make it to the next one then. So.
Right? And he goes, so you're a little bit more clever than those scouts.
Obviously.
Well, they made it a little easy anyway. Especially with that flame pack on one of them.
I told them not to do it, but no, let's take a flamethrower with us. Who knows what's in here?
Yeah, they didn't know what was in there. Could have been spiders. And that's it. So the flamethrower would have been the most useful thing in that instance.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have an idea. Like, how many more 100 feet? Like, how many more chambers would I have to get to the end?
Okay, just give me a second.
Because I have an idea of what I should do.
I'm going to use Google to tell me how many feet is in
Is
a
it half
mile.
a mile? It was a whole mile.
No, I'm going by a full mile, and then I'm going to divide it by 4.
That's a quarter mile.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was a
'cause
quarter
it's
mile.
quarter.
Okay, that's better than a mile or half a mile.
So, let's see. 5280 divided by 4. There is 1,320 feet.
1,320. So 10 more for me.
Yes.
I'll just write it in temporary hit points how many I have to go.
Alright.
Okay, so
The extra 20 you assume is that bunker at the end.
yeah. So I'll yell over to let's see, Morat, that he should run at the same time as me. He can't hit us both.
I doubt that's a smart idea.
Well, you want to
Depends
stay
on
up.
how far he can run in one turn.
Well, I
That's
can.
the biggest problem.
Yeah, that's 60 feet.
So
I
then
can
he'd
start
be,
to make it night, eh?
he'd be out in the open. By the way, Plum has been hiding behind the wall, seeing how injured he got after one shot.
Mm-hmm.
He's been just sticking to the wall, and he says, "We dead."
Oh, we're not. Our cat friend will help.
Maybe,
So,
but we dead.
so next thing that I'm gonna do is start up the camera, having the tablet in hand, and then stick out the shield with the camera behind the shield.
Alright. Camera is behind the shield.
Does he
And
take a
your
shot?
devious plan. Let's see. Okay. I'm only going to go a little bit longer, and then we're going to have to pick this up whenever we can. So, your devious plan. Boom. Boom.
That definitely hits.
Right? So he deals 39 more damage to your shield. Your shield, you're noticing that he's aiming at the part that's activating the shield barrier. And it's now starting to spark a little bit as he hits the mechanism that turns the shield on. And he goes, "You're getting weaker."
Or you, stupider. As the camera starts zigzagging around the room towards him.
All right.
Uh,
So he looks at he sees it, and on his turn,
He
well,
actually,
he's going to aim at it basically.
well, he
Um,
has to get a solid hit because it is continually zigzagging across the room and
Yes.
not stopping until it gets
which gives him
close.
disadvantage. So
this is my turn now, right?
yes.
So I will prepare to do a full sprint using my feline agility, and I'll use a key point to dash with my bonus action. So I can run
230 feet.
330 feet. So I'm gonna move 3 down.
All right. You move 3 down, which luckily he has his reaction again.
Normal. Because I'm not.
Oh yeah. Well, either way,
That hits.
28.
Yeah.
Don't you dare and die.
And
I actually have a
you
lot of health. I went Constitution instead of Wisdom. I'm not the smart. But yeah, before I take the damage, I reduce it by 19.
All right. So you attempt to deflect the bullet, and you slow down time enough, which is how you use the ability. It's sort of like your reflexes are so sharp that you're perceiving more than you should be able to. So time in this memory slows down, and you see the bullet is about this long. It's over a foot long bullet. So now you have a feeling that this is why it does so much damage. And it still comes into contact with your flesh and takes a chunk off, but you still manage to get to that third one.
Okay.
And now he's going to use his turn. Unfortunately, he can only shoot once during his turn.
Doesn't he have 4 attacks per turn? What a weak boss.
No, not with this weapon.
5d12.
Because it's a super long cannon, basically, sniper cannon. He can't shoot that many times in a turn. He's hoping that you guys aren't gonna make it far enough. That's what he's banking on.
Well, he's pretty close. He has just more 7 holes to go.
Sure.
Yeah, but what am I gonna do if none of you come there? So I'm not gonna just run up to the door well alone. Most likely not.
Well, distract him.
Alright. So he dings the side of the camera, but it's still flying.
Just keep coming at him.
And you can look through the viewfinder of your camera if you want.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can see him closer, because it does have a zoom function. So you could try to see him if you want.
Yeah, I do.
Alright, you zoom in to pretty much max zoom, and you do see the bunker pretty clearly. But you just see what looks like a shiny dot going through the slot, and a metal rod. So you assume that that's his rifle that you're seeing. You don't see anything else.
So yeah, I keep coming closer with the camera.
Alright. Camera's going closer. But he used his turn, so you can do something if you want.
I'll keep zigzagging with it, and he can only take 1 shot, you said, right?
On his turn, but as a reaction, he can use a shot as well.
Yeah, then... Well, as I move the camera, can I still fix up my shield a little bit?
You can attempt to.
Sure.
Make a Tinkerer's roll, which is intelligence. I think.
Nope.
You're not making it better, but luckily for you, you're not making it worse. However, since you rolled a natural 1, you get electrocuted. one of the wires burns your fingers.
Good. God damn
Instant
it.
death. No saves. 1 billion damage.
Shut up.
Nah, only a D4. This is the lowest amount
A
of damage.
D4 billion.
A D4 billion. I wonder if I could roll that. Let's see.
Do it.
You can actually roll whatever dice you want. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, but the screen will be overloaded with dice.
No, it's just one dice. It's just rolling a huge number.
What? I want to see that now.
See? I put even more zeros than him. See?
I want to see that right now.
Well, look, it's right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to be fair here. Come on.
Well, I can see the dice roll. But I roll.
Don't you see the roll? It's rolling. Yeah, there.
See?
You got
No, the 3D dice are off. What the hell?
you got 7,975,119 damage.
On 1D, whatever number that is.
Gazillion.
So you can roll them.
That's nice. But yeah.
Either way. So, you tried to fix your shield. It is now Bullet's turn.
Bullet.
Do you wish to
Yeah, I have
soak
to
his
wait.
reaction, or
I have to wait a turn to recharge my. So I have to not move at all for a turn to recharge my feline agility.
okay? So you stay hidden,
And
and you hear, "Oh, come on! What are you waiting for?"
if I rage now on this turn and start running and get attacked, will I keep it then, or will I lose it as soon as I can start running?
As
So-
long as he tries to attack you, which he seems to not be wanting to attack you when you're in cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, raging is something very peculiar, because it says you keep raging if you deal damage, but also if you take damage, right?
Yes.
Or if you get attacked or attack. actually,
Yeah,
so you don't
or
lose it.
attacked.
Can I just rage and bite my lip and take 1 damage or something?
You can try hitting yourself. Or something.
Okay, I'll attempt to poorly hit myself with my
Fist.
with my fist. Just a fist using my strength. Is that
It's
doable?
actual legit strategy, but you have to be attempting to deal damage to yourself.
so? Let's see.
So use your weakest attack.
Yeah,
would be
I'm
my
using
recommendation.
My weakest attack, but because I'm a monk, it's not 1+1. It's a 1d6 +1. So yeah, it would be normal, I assume. So 24.
Even
It's
though. No, it says a 15.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it says- Disadvantage for some reason.
yeah, it's 24.
Okay.
So
it.
4 damage to me, and I'm raging, and I'm not
Yeah.
moving, so I have my feline agility. And it's
Alright.
reduced by 2 actually, so it's 2 damage.
No, because you weren't raging by then.
Of
If
course,
he
I'm
was
raging when I hit
raging
myself.
when he attacked himself, it would be lowered. Which technically he can do them in any order he
Technically,
wants.
it's +3, so yeah, it would be 2 more damage, but it's still less than 4, so I take 3.
Alright. So you take 3 damage. Though
Famous
that would
sniper's
be
job.
supremely useful because it's piercing damage that he's using with his rifle. So
Yes.
that would be supremely useful. Either
So-
way, it is his turn now.
Mhm.
And he is going to shoot the camera,
That's zigzagging around.
which gives him disadvantage.
Ooh.
He hits a. You're looking through the screen as you're looking through. The bullet directly goes through the lens.
Oh,
And
darn it.
the thing actually, it starts flying around in circles. If you're looking down the hallway, you can see it flying around in circles, and it hits the ceiling, hits the floor, because the anti-gravity generator is malfunctioning, and it just starts flying all over the place, smashing into things.
Well, that
Before
could get
eventually
interesting.
it just stops because it hit itself too much.
Well, let me ask, are things flying around it?
Pieces of itself, but other than that, no.
That could make things very interesting.
Either way, that is your turn.
Well, not
Or
yet.
that is his turn, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah.
His turn, he shot you, so you're up.
Yeah, I have an idea.
Go on, take some bullets for me. You can,
Well-
you can handle it.
I take my axe, stick it out the side, and I'm curious. Does the anti-gravity field make it harder to hit?
Well, you stick the axe out.
Is this his reaction to shoot it, by the way? Because he used his action to shoot the drone.
Yes, that's true. Well, before, he wasn't using his action for anything else except shooting. So, yeah, he is using his reaction.
Nice, good
And
job.
he hits your axe, which goes flying, and he says, "Oh, why are you such a coward?
Why are you
Your
wasting?
police record, I wouldn't have taken you for one."
No, just outsmarting you. Like, why are you wasting your precious bullet? Why are you wasting your attention on me when there's a threat closer to you?
And I zip past 3 stores down.
He goes, "Because I'm not worried about this one. Worried about you."
Well,
That's
if
comforting.
well, if my calculations are right, he could be with you the next time he moves.
Well, I have a plan.
And if that's true, that gives me all the time to move up.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. You have all the time to move.
Which gives you no time to shoot at me.
You're right. Why don't you try it?
Well, let's just wait for now, won't we?
Alright, so while they're having that conversation, you're resting. Do you try to stick anything out again?
Well, I've just reached into the holster to try find something fun to stick out.
One of the corpses.
No, there's nothing in there.
Oh,
I just
Except
hold.
his weapons that he knows are in there.
picture this gigantic dude holding up one of that corpses like a bull flag, like the red flag on bulls.
Yeah.
So I
Alright.
just start digging into the bag and then asked Plum, Plum, do you have anything to stick out?
Plum?
He has the whole
Who
toolbox
hasn't
of
moved?
the. He has the whole
Explosive.
toolbox.
He hasn't moved or done anything because he is too afraid to die. A moment. So he has a belt of dwarven kind.
Oh, that's nice.
He
Hey,
has
Molly, you're not
rations.
here. Can we kill you and loot you? No.
He has a bedroll, a net.
Right now, to think about it, I can stick out Python.
Yeah, because he has all his background stuff. And technically, the tinderbox would be a lighter. So he
Yeah.
has a lighter.
Yeah, so before he does it, I have taken an adventurous thing as well. So Python, I stick it out.
Right? You stick the python out, and this time he goes, "Not again." It doesn't get shot out of your hand.
Hmm.
Instead, here's what happens. Did I roll twice?
Yes.
Yeah, 18 and 16.
This
Or
time you're
three,
taking the
no,
damage.
Who? Me?
Yes, you are
How?
taking damage.
I'm in full
He's aiming
cover.
at your hand.
I'm not sticking out my hand.
You're sticking out the python, they're not that large.
Yeah.
Yes, so I just hold enough out of it that is out of there. So I'm not
So
stupid.
you're holding like less than an inch out of there?
Yes, I'm not stupid.
Well, then he doesn't shoot.
Well, I can miss my battle.
He doesn't shoot. You still are on a free action, technically. Because it
So-
hasn't done anything. It hasn't taken effect. So I gave it to you as a free action.
I grab the pad and start moving some of the controls around, trying to see if it works.
Alright. You hear. But now at this point, it's smashed on the ground.
So yeah, I'm just trying
The
to get.
anti-gravity field is now broken. It's not lifting off the ground or anything.
Well, that's a bummer. Well, then I guess I can't move it around. So you said there are walls, right?
Concrete walls, yes.
So
And you're currently hiding behind one. It's the only reason you're not dead.
I'm gonna take a very precise shot at one of those lights.
Alright, roll to hit.
14.
You hit the light. It doesn't pierce the armor.
So I'm trying to pierce a weak point.
Alright,
So-
then you'll have to make an investigation check.
24.
It looks like they're fitted into the wall. So the wall was made out of concrete with the fittings in the mold for the lights. So if you could wedge the light out, it could fall to the floor. But then you could do whatever you want with it. But you can't. It looks like it has metal plating or something that's see-through that prevents it from being broken.
So is there anything in my cubbyhole, like pipes or something like that?
It's just concrete wall.
Hmm.
From what you gathered from your debriefing, it took them like 5 years to make this place.
Wiring. The wiring. Where would the wiring be?
The wiring would be in the concrete wall, you would assume.
Yeah, but is it in the roof or is it just along the walls going to the ground? That's what I'm questioning.
Based on the blueprint, you flash back to the blueprint. The wires are in the concrete, and they go to the light, and then to the next light, and then to the next light. They're all connected on the same wire.
So this time I aim a bit beside the light and just start unloading.
Alright. You have one more attack, so go ahead.
This time the not strong attack, but the normal attack. 22.
Alright, 22. It hits the edge of the light, and it turns it sideways, which you can now see a wire exposed.
Well, I can't use my action search yet as I'm just taking my short rest here, waiting.
Alright. So, Plum actually sees what you're doing, and he takes out his machine gun. And he Apparently, that's what what it's labeled as. So,
So it's 26.
So 18. You see the wire detach from the light, and you see every light that's before it turn off on that side of the wall.
So is my place dark right now?
No,
Oh,
because you have lights above you that you would have to go out into the hallway in order to shoot them.
well
You're
then,
shooting the ones on the opposite side of the hallway.
well then it's obvious for me. Just aim
You have
and
dark vision, right? Or do you not have dark vision?
no.
Because he said that he had the heated vision, so magical
Yeah.
darkness didn't stop him.
He said that. You can believe him or not.
That's the question.
Well, I do believe him because he shot through the magical darkness and hit you.
Well, he had disadvantage anyway. So you don't
Yeah.
you don't know if he just had disadvantage because of the darkness or if he had disadvantage because he had disadvantage anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
would there be like some sort of insight to see if I believe him? Because
Yeah, you can roll insight. I didn't prevent you
Sure.
before, but you just didn't.
yeah, because I believed him. That's fair.
15.
Alright. When he said that, he seemed sarcastic.
So your magical darkness is now behind you.
He's now manipulating you by saying that he has technology that's common and exists. And he's the ruler of this area, it seems.
Yeah, the magical darkness faded as soon as I got angry. Where the small tiger
that's
like
fine.
roar.
That's fine, but at that time it didn't really benefit or disbenefit you.
Yeah.
But either way, it is now your turn.
I'm going to run 300 feet again into the next. Or
Oh.
no, I'm four away now, right?
No, you're 2 away.
No. Yeah. I'm far away, but I'm just gonna run 2 of the blocks, not all 3 of them.
No. You were 2 away, weren't you?
No, I'm far away.
Well, he's been keeping track of his math, so I assume.
And if I spend a key point, I'll make him have disadvantage, since I'm only running 200 feet. Only.
Yeah, and he didn't take any shots, so he
Yeah.
prepared a reaction as well as taking his automatic reaction.
Yeah,
So,
that's
for
fine.
some reason it got rid of my... Oh, it's because of that stupid D.
Am I still raging, or is that gone?
You're
I
still
did-
raging,
Okay,
because you dealt yourself damage, remember?
so I'll run 2 more. Disadvantage?
Does he have disadvantage?
Yeah, because I only run 200 feet, so I can spend a key to dodge.
Alright,
Or to dash, whatever way.
so he got 30,
Yeah.
and he's taking his second shot.
Yeah, that was it.
Alright,
Well, bye-bye, Kitty.
so each hit is going to deal half damage, though, because he's raging.
Yeah. Half damage, and if I can
Dead.
reduce that half damage, let's see. 41, that's 20. The second one, I can actually catch, though.
You can't.
Or yeah, it would probably go for the first one anyway, wouldn't it?
Deflect missiles, doesn't that subtract the damage based on what number you roll?
Yeah, because that's what I rolled. I rolled 19. It's a D10 plus 5 plus my monk level, so plus 8.
So you decreased one of them by 19. It doesn't really matter which one.
Okay. Because yeah, I would like to catch the second one.
Isn't catching, you have to decrease the number to 0? Or is that something else?
Yeah, because I reduced this to half. Because you see, because 34.
Oh, that's okay. Go
Because
ahead.
34 reduced to
That
half
happens.
is
17.
17, and I catch 19, so I can
Yes,
spend a key
that's
point.
right. I forgot about the halving, and then okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
'cause
do that.
My Bavarian is helping me so much.
Yes.
So I would like to throw it back. I still take the 20 damage, but yeah.
Okay. So as you
It's
catch
a monk attack, so it would be dex plus proficiency, so +9 for me to hit.
okay, so yeah, you have to roll to hit, but before that happens, you catch this bullet. It's about this round and about this long. As you just catch this thing, and then you turn it around with just as much force. So you have to roll to hit.
+9. Is there anything I can do for it? I don't think so, no. So yeah. 18 to hit.
He's hiding under cover unless if you have sharpshooter.
I don't.
So no, that doesn't hit. You just hit the.
But does the door get hurt? Hopefully.
Well, you weren't aiming at the door. You were aiming at him, and he's in the slot.
Okay, yeah.
So, which there's a slot above the door. So
Yeah.
it's probably a 2-story bunker, and he's on the 2nd story, and the door's on the 1st story.
Ah, okay. No, because I thought it was through like this giant door with the slots. Yeah, okay, I have another picture of it now.
Yeah, there's like a regular sized door, and then there's a slot above it where just a thin slot where he's got his sniper rifle sticking in.
But yeah, because I'm raging, I'll.
And you'll continue to rage because you got hit. So.
Yeah, but I'll just run in. So I'm 200 feet away from the door, and I'm trying to calm myself down, taking like the last big bullet that just hit me out of me.
You can continue to rage while doing that if you want.
No, because I want to rest because I'm hurt and I have no key. I have 0 key.
All right, so you just sort of dig the bullet out. Doesn't do damage or anything. It's just thematic.
Yeah. And
So-
what's the room like there? It's the same as the other ones, or?
Now that you're really close, you look over and you see that the bunker is taking up. There's a large open room next to where this bunker is, and there's like a slot that goes almost all the way along the bunker, and this long rod has been moving back and forth along it.
Okay.
Which is the gun.
Yeah, so I'll shout at them. I've come close enough. Now, why don't you meet me halfway?
You hear a voice coming from within the bunker, and it says, "No, I like it in here. Why don't you come in?"
Well, if you point your stick away, then maybe.
You see that the rod is pointing in your direction. And he doesn't move.
Well, maybe I'll pick up 1 or 2 more bullets.
He goes, "Yeah, that was a neat trick that you did there."
Well, I'll be waiting if you change my mind. Because I'm basically trying to take a long rest, but I don't want him to know I'm sleeping, so I'll be aware for a while.
Okay, so you're trying to take a long rest in the cubby. Okay.
No, not a long, like a short, but I don't want him to know that I'm taking a short rest.
Okay. He waits there.
Yep.
Otherwise, what are you guys doing? Way back.
Well, I have set up a little device to like keep him distracted, let him think I'm still awake. Well, in fact, I'm taking a long rest. What I've made
What
is
is
just,
the device?
well, it's basically just my sleeping bag on the stick, and it's going up and down to like keep him occupied.
Okay.
Should
You're
you
resting.
take a short rest first?
No long
You have
rest.
hit dice.
Yeah, I
You
do,
get
but
everything negative either.
yeah, but not my action surge.
You do get action surge back as a fighter. Fighters
Do
get
I?
everything back.
On a short rest?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like
Well then,
literally everything you get back.
okay then it's short rest. Well, let's spend it all.
So are we rolling now, or is anything happening while we short rest?
Well, to him, yes. As he's poking that thing out, let's see how many turns it takes. You rolled a 26. He destroyed your mechanism within the first turn of it being active.
Well, bugger.
He just shot it, and all the down feathers within your sleeping bag just go flying everywhere.
Well, you're no fun.
And he goes, "That's what you get for trying to trick me. You think I'm that stupid to fall for that so many times? I just wanted to smash your shield and disarm you."
Well, do you think I'm that stupid?
"I think you are. Well, I mean, really, look at this thing that you set up to try to distract me for however long that you wanted me to be distracted for, and you got blown up on the first go."
Well, let me try this, and am gonna regret this, but I stick out my pistol.
Alright, he's gonna shoot that. Unfortunately, he has to hit your armor class, which he misses.
Which he doesn't.
Okay. Then what?
Too bad you wasted your actions now.
If he were an out of character person, he would say, "Yeah, well, I can just regain it in 6 seconds."
Yeah. Well, this time well, we have a cat person that's real close to you, and I think you don't want to meet his 10 friends.
He hasn't moved. I think he's dead. You might want to check on him.
Did
I
he?
did have a bullet stuck in my shoulder, so I could have looked a bit hurt.
I know the cat can take something.
But I did antagonize him, so...
Not to mention, he could just be lying to try to get him to poke his head out and shoot him.
Yeah.
I'm not that stupid.
Yeah, I figured you weren't going to do it anyway, which is why I
Yeah.
was fine with saying that I was lying.
You know, I know that cat. I know he's not dead yet.
You met me like yesterday.
You met him like yesterday.
There are
But
few
does
things.
he know that?
There
Does
are
he
few
How does
things.
he know that? Because he knows when that guy took vacation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, there are a few things you're
But
forgetting.
technically, I could have met him sooner, even if it
Well-
was working.
Well, you're
He knows
technically-
he knows his record, and he knows that he hasn't been reporting because he's actually been diligent about reporting the various actors in the resistance. It's just that he's been pretending that he has no evidence against them.
So
And
yeah,
he
I
knows that.
do
So
know
he
about
knows.
you.
That's fair.
Plus, they know about you anyway. You've been harassing them for a long time,
Mhm.
just in a different area. So he knows who you are, all of you are. It's just that he's been having fun taunting this guy who he didn't actually know was part of the resistance.
So, you worried now?
You're asking him?
No, the sniper dude.
Alright, he goes, "Worried about what?"
The fact that you can soon have cat claws in your neck?
I think he's dead.
Nah, he isn't.
Well, let's say that he wasn't. I'm still acting the same way.
Yeah, not for much longer.
Alright. And this is coming over the intercom, so Bullet, you can hear that.
Yeah.
You hear him, but you don't hear your companion.
Oh yeah,
what he's
yeah. That would, yeah. Like I don't hear him at all, right? So I will
Yeah.
probably answer him because I was taunting him earlier.
Yeah, so he's just saying random stuff. You're not sure why. But you can respond if you want.
So yeah, one question: how many speakers do I see?
You don't see any speakers.
None. So how can he actually talk to me then?
With speakers.
I said you don't see them. I didn't say they weren't there.
Because I'm looking for them and I'm going to shoot a few just for the fun of it.
Okay, you can roll to see if you see them.
I just want
an investigation.
I just want to have one active so that I can still speak with him. 15.
You don't see any speakers.
Eh. Well, those things
And
are
I'm
pretty
saying,
low.
and I'm going to tell you that you passed the DC to see if you would see them or not. You don't see any.
So, how are you speaking to me?
You ever heard of magic, you idiot?
I thought you were more modern.
Well, I am in ways. Doesn't mean I can't magic every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, how long are you still going to be alive? Because I don't think you have very long anymore.
Well, I have at least an hour. Looks at you hear him shuffling around with his body. You're not sure if he's. I'm gonna say that he's looking at his watch, but your characters don't know that.
I tell him make it 2.
He goes, "All right, 2
2?
at least."
Well, why not 8?
Well, it depends on how long you plan on staying in this cubbyholes. I mean, I didn't notice that stupid resistance member was still alive. So, you could remain there forever if you wanted to, assuming that you have the resources to.
Well, I have resources for 10 days.
Cool. I'll stay here for 10 days then.
Or did I have 9 now?
Cool. I'll stay here for 9 days then.
Or did I have 2 billion for 3.5 million?
Cool. I'll stay there for whatever you just said. Take.
You know you would be dead by then, right?
So would you. Wouldn't you?
Who knows? Ooh.
You don't even know what species I am. Maybe I actually do live that long and I could stay still for that long. Watching your position.
Well, do you know what species I am?
Well, I only know what you registered as, and we did bioscans on you when you joined, so I assume you're human.
Yeah, fair enough. But can a human do this? And I start speaking Draconic.
He goes,
Humans don't speak other languages than human.
yeah, that's what I was gonna. He goes, oh, okay. That's all he says.
Well, didn't expect that, did you now?
Well, he could have said.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Mm.
Over the intercom.
Oh, I'm gonna be ballsy.
Alright.
I walk out of my cubbyhole and move 60 feet.
Oh.
The bullet's deflected. You can move as far as you wish.
So I just flip him off when they deflect. And didn't he already take 2 shots?
No, because you've been talking to him over various turns.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
not. It's been like
So-
a minute at least.
So I just stand there with my shield and go like, those were close.
Yeah. How about this? And he takes his reaction shot. 18.
Okay, that one
And
was
he goes-
just miss.
Does
Yeah,
guns
that one
break
just
on
hits the door. That one hits the door in the back. He goes, should have expected this with this much armor. And then he tries to roll to hit you again on the next turn. 28.
Which I have a funny thing for you. I can, let's see.
Somehow raise your DC to 28, I mean.
No, just to give me some health points.
Alright. So you took your short rest, so you were at full hit points. And then you...
Oh, so we had time for short rest? Or?
Yeah, because he was talking for a long time!
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll just roll my hit dice while you're doing your stuff.
That voice, man, Jesus, that's in a crack.
You were just...
Because he was talking for a long time.
It's true! You were talking for a long time, so
Yeah.
I was saying that it was back and forth banter for at least a short rest.
Yeah.
So I assume you're back at full hit points.
Yeah, I am.
And so he hit you,
Let's see
but
how much
he's
I
going
will-
to do the damage, and then after the damage you can use second wind. Because that's how orders of operations work.
Mhm.
So he hit you for 46.
Let's see how much I can subtract from that. He hit me for 26.
Alright. He sees you go and sort of get knocked back, and then he sees you just regrow some of it, and he says, I knew you had that ability. It wouldn't be that easy. So he takes his reaction shot.
He already did.
No, that was his regular shot.
No, he already...
On
Then he
his
takes-
second turn.
He takes 3 shots now.
He used his regular shot, and
Yeah.
then he used his reaction shot. Now he's on his next turn because you didn't move far enough yet.
Yeah, but how about Ben?
Yeah, I would have been moving as well if we had a short rest. I just thought we didn't have one yet, so I didn't roll my dice. So
Okay.
I just...
Yeah, so
Give me a sec.
he's shooting at you still. He's
So
still
I
gonna
would
shoot.
use this time. Let's just 10.
Because you're revealing yourself and you're walking really slowly, and he knows that he's going to have a hard time hitting you. So he's just going to keep shooting you as long as you're visible.
Yes. At the end of it, it's his turn. Of Ben's
Yes,
Yeah,
turn.
that's
I
true.
used
I didn't know
the-
that he wanted to move. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I just didn't. I just didn't realize we had a short rest. That's why I didn't move or say anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Which means I'm 2 stories down. So with my feline agility, I use my action to dash, and I'm at the door.
All right, you're at the door.
What
Because-
do I see anything through the hole?
You have to climb 1 story up in order
So I'm
to
below
get
the
to
barrel.
Yeah, the barrel is aiming at something and it's currently firing.
So I cannot be shot from here, right? If I stand next to the wall.
Unless if somehow he angles that barrel down in that little hole. But yeah, it seems like he's distracted sufficiently.
So
Okay.
grab hold of
This-
it.
I have my bonus action.
Oh. Guys.
So yeah, I'm not gonna spend key to dash, so I guess that would be my turn for now. But my next turn I'll do
But you
something.
can look at the door.
Yeah,
The
look
doors
at
are-
the door.
It's a regular door. However, it doesn't have a doorknob or anything.
Yeah,
So
don't
you
try the
sort of-
doorknob either.
There is no doorknob.
Yeah.
So you sort of look around, and you see what looks like a key card slot next to the door.
Yeah.
And you hear over the intercom, but you hear it more clearly coming from out inside the thing. you hear, "Ah, you clever guys, just slipping past me. How about that? Well, at least I'll kill your friend before you get in." And he's
Yeah,
going
well,
to,
as you said, I only met him yesterday.
and he's going to shoot because it's now
That's
his turn.
AC.
The second one doesn't hit, because you have 25, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
He has 24. So, yeah. Take 52 damage.
3-3.
Alright, as long as you're still alive, we can move on to his reaction shot, which he's going to use on you since you're still visible. Oh, took forever there. It still hits.
I'm down.
And he goes, and he falls to one knee, falls forward.
Okay, but you're not completely dead, right? What has
No.
Plum been doing?
Plum has been hiding, because Plum is assuming that he is going to die.
Okay. So this is my turn again now, right?
Just picklock the damn door.
However,
Murder him.
since Plum is assuming that he's going to die anyway, he's going to try to save you, and his reaction has been used up. So he's just going to dart out, and he gets to your body, I assume. How far did you move?
60. So if he dashes,
Yeah.
he gets there.
Okay. Yeah, he gets to your body, and he is going to try to pull you into the next cubby.
That is 40 feet away.
Yeah, so if he dashes while holding you, he can get there in his next turn.
And another thing, the syringes I have visible.
Yes, but I'll assume that you told them that you have that stuff.
Yeah.
But either way, he has to get you to safety first. He's not going to use the syringe before then.
Let's just stand here and chill. I'm sure it'll be fine. He'll wait. He's respectful.
But guys, it's 10 minutes for 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna end. I'm gonna go through the next little bit, and then I'm gonna end.
Okay.
So,
Okay, because I actually have something I want to do now.
all right.
How far up is it, the thing?
The thing is 1 story up, which
Okay,
is
so
like 20 feet, I think. I'm not sure.
okay, so with my movement, I could easily get 20 feet up and try to
Can
hold
you
on to
climb
the
walls as regular movement?
It would be half movement to climb upwards.
Is that a monk ability?
Well, to climb in general, or I could make rolls for it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because unless if you have an ability that allows you to climb like burglars do.
Ninth level monks have walked straight up walls without any problem.
Oh, well, then you can do it.
He's an
I'm
8
8th level monk. Yeah.
Oh, you're 8th level monk. That's right, because you took 2 levels in the other. I forgot about that. So you'll have to make athletics.
Or acrobatics.
Yes.
Because I'm
Which
expertise
is
in acrobatics.
Natted. So you manage to. You just back up like less than a foot, and then you just leap up and you dive right through that crevice. It's big enough for you to fit in.
Oh, it's big enough for me to fit in. Okay.
Yep.
That's way bigger than I thought. And I looked at the snipers. Is there anyone else around him here? Me?
Make a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
He has night vision, right?
Yeah, I have dark vision.
It's big enough for you to fit in because you're not huge. You're kind of skinny. That was the only reason you managed to fit through the hole. And because you natted.
Oh, okay, so I wouldn't normally be. Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So normally you would have had a hard time getting through that hole, but Either way, you just managed to leap through and just duck, like, flatted yourself out. Just as you managed to get to the hole. Because
Yeah.
normally, if you wouldn't have added, you would have just grabbed onto the ledge, and then you would have had to pull yourself into the hole.
Well,
Well,
why
it's a
the
good thing I
ledge?
noted them.
Well, why the ledge when I can also grab the barrel?
I wouldn't
Well,
have
either
done
way, he jumped right in there. So
Yeah.
either way, you make a perception check. You don't see a person in this room. You see what looks like an automated rifle, just shooting.
Oh, make it go kaput.
Okay, so there's no people in here.
Yeah, there's like a mechanism that is. It looks like a robot hand that's connected to the floor, and it's sort of just swiveling back and forth, and it's pulling the trigger whenever it's supposed to.
So I'm gonna. What should I do?
Just stab the arm.
I'm gonna. No, I don't want to do that yet because I only have one left. I'm gonna try to use my thieves tools to block the triggering mechanism.
Okay, sure. Make a thieves' tools check.
19.
19? Okay. You manage to put something metal in between the finger and the trigger, and you managed to do so, but you had to pull the trigger in order to do so. So one more shot rings out. And this one is aiming for Plum. So I
Plum has
assume
full HP, right?
Yes.
Plum has full HP. But also Plum has low armor class, which is 19, and doesn't have a way of putting disadvantage automatically. Therefore, he is going to take the damage. Where's the damage roll? Here it is. So he takes 46.
Aren't
Don't
you happy
say-
I picked a monk now?
Yeah, I am.
And that's half the reason why you made it that far. To be honest with you.
We have El Speedy Gonzalez.
52 subtract 46. 46 is exactly half her health.
Oh
Okay.
boy, thank you. So yeah, so no more fire. I will be revived.
Yeah, and he's going to drag you. Plum is going to drag you into the next crevice. And then
Okay.
he's going to. At first, he's going to try to not waste the, in his opinion, the revives if he doesn't have to. So he is going to use a medicine check first, which he succeeds. You are stabilized.
So
Therefore,
can I do anything?
you are stabilized, and for the next hour, you are unconscious.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want to use those unless if it's entirely necessary. Which, luckily, he had time to stabilize you. He removed the bullet quickly, which you're unconscious, so you don't feel any of this. Though you're going to feel it later, probably. And he starts using some of the cloth under your armor to start just plugging up the hole. So that way you aren't bleeding out anymore. So you are alive,
Mm-hmm.
and Bullet, you hear, so you stopped my contraption. Well, luckily, I do have a few more cards up my sleeve.
So I just wait for one moment. It's tricks up your sleeve. And then pass out again.
Yeah, I'll allow it. You don't hear his response, which is, yeah, I got tricks up my sleeve. What about it?
You don't have to repeat yourself. I heard you the first time.
Yeah, you hear it twice, and that's it. It turns out that the voice you were hearing coming from that direction was a voice box that was connected to the bottom of the arm.
Okay.
It's like a walkie-talkie type thing.
So yeah,
Speaker, basically. So
Uh,
that's what you were hearing.
I will attempt to continue to break the arm. Rip.
Alright? The arm, basically what you did is you put a piece of metal between the finger and the trigger,
Yeah,
which
to
is why
stop
it had to...
shooting.
Yeah, so it can't...
But
it's-
guys, one moment, I got to go. Cause real late.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This is where we're gonna end off.
Okay.
So if you have to go, that's fine.
Okay. Bye.
See ya. But either way, I'll describe to you, since you're here, what was happening. You put a little thin piece of metal, which is part of your thieves' tools, in between the finger like this, which is why it pulled the trigger, because it was stuck. You had to stick it into place so that way the finger couldn't move anymore. So technically, the hand can still move all the way across this little slot, and it can do everything else except pull the trigger.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
So yeah, I wanted to break it off, break the sniper off the arm, just in case it should. Or yeah, no, never mind, because I probably see that I fitted it around. So I will take a look around the room I'm in. What do I see other than no creatures?
Yeah, the last time you were just looking for creatures, and I figured it was important that you saw that there were none. What you see is the bunker area it's quite big, but it's relatively empty. There's computers on one wall, and then there's computers on the other wall, and on the left and right walls. And ahead of you, which is where you're going deeper, assumedly, there's just a little alcove, like a square, and then there's a door at the other end. That's all you see in the room.
So the area where I'm standing, like right into the crack, is it brightly lit, or is it like dim light?
Relative dim light in
Okay.
this area.
Because then I can look out towards the crack and I can teleport down again.
Alright.
And
You
I can
do
go
so.
into the closest cavern and I can stay there and wait for the rest of them.
Now that you've disabled the automatic firing of the gun, so Plum is going to run down towards you now that the situation seems to be safe. He noticed that the gun didn't shoot at him when it should have. After
I'm kind of like just standing next to one of the walls, trying to blend in with a shadow like this, trying to sleep.
Yeah. He runs down and notifies you that Moroth has been badly injured, but is stable for the moment.
Well, I broke the gun, but there's more ahead of us. Seems like we need to take a long rest either way.
Feel like we're dead.
Well, I don't plan on dying. But anyway, you have your C4 still, right? You don't want to die. Why don't you blow up the entrance? You have time now. As I suggested.
You give shots. And he starts running back up. But it's a quarter mile, so it takes him a little while to get there. But he ran down there because he saw that the bolts weren't flying anymore when he walked out, that sort of thing. And he goes up, puts the plastic explosive on the wall, and he puts the trigger mechanism in the plastic explosive which came with it, and he walks away from it, and you hear, and you look down there. You see a little bit of light, not much, coming from the entrance. It's starry night sky light, but because now it's nighttime.
Okay, then the information I'll take for that. At least we can get through if we find more explosives.
Yeah, you see like a little tiny hole, even from this far away. Because it's a little bit of light coming through that there wasn't before.
Yeah. So I guess that's where we'll end it.
Alright.
I'm just trying to take my long rest.
Yep. Fair enough.
It's mostly just to get the hit dice back, and I assume the other need it. I only get a rage back, actually.
Cut it off there.